All right, I'm going to open up with a question today. If R2 is short for R2-D2, and Chewie is short for Chewbacca, and Annie is short for Anakin, what is Luke short for?
Lucas.
A stormtrooper.
God damn.
Welcome back to Nerd Rage Radio. We have some special guests. One of the reasons why is because Wakanda Forever is being released. So I'll go ahead and introduce. We had the King of Wakanda himself. We have Ian Tyler.
Greetings, my friends.
And then we also have Dante the Destroyer as a guest.
Buckle in, bitches.
And we have, of course, Joe KW.
How does Philip in the minority?
I'm sorry? Joe, I saw you coming home this morning. Where were you at last night?
We're talking about Carl.
What were you doing? You guys coming home? You coming over my house in a robe? There's some weird shit going on down the street.
I saw the robe when I first walked out.
I lived next door. Why would I put on a jacket?
I said he's trying to be the Tony Soprano in Newmarket.
I like it.
He wants to be Tony Soprano Lee. But Chris couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he is under the weather, so we wish him a speedy recovery. He hit us up this morning. I guess he made gave it to the last minute to see if he could get better, and couldn't, and put me under the gun. I've been having a scheduling nightmare of a week.
It's like holiday seasons, bro.
Yeah. So he got sick. The other one we were supposed to do dummies on last night, but Scarlett, Robert's daughter, got sick, so he's leaving out of town. He's going to be driving that week, so that got fucked up. It was just like, God bless, I can't get right.
But then you got two surprise guests. We thought we were going to have nobody today.
I'll tell you what, not for nothing, for the listeners that don't know, a little look behind the scenes. There's a Nerd Rage business chat. It pretty much is just Ricky sending the videos through, but with the exception of that. It's used as a scheduling thing.
SOS.
Look, as an SOS, and it has worked like a champ, like multiple times. You know what I mean? There's been multiple times where I've been like, look, I got something open. I don't know if anybody, but yep, I can be there. I can be there. It's worked like a champ.
You got reliable friends.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get added to the.
That is true. That is true. I don't know why.
Is he in the group chat though?
He is.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why that happened though.
Oh, I know why. I got theories.
I bet, but I've been thinking about it because I think it might have been the A shift thing. I might have been harvesting.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Probably A shift. I guess A shift. You can be on A shift. There's an A shift anywhere.
Walmart has A shift.
Walmart has A shift. So
I have a shift.
I think that could be it. I think it could be that I just expected that because that puts you down one day, it puts me down one day, so there's only 1 out of 3 days theoretically where you would ever line up, and I think I just didn't want to bother you with a group chat.
You're never bothering me.
All right. Well, that's nice to.
And today worked out perfect because it is my regular work day, and
yeah.
Lo and behold,
love to hear it. And I was trying to think. Oh, there's one other thing.
Literally an hour and a half before the show started, Bobby's like, "Anyone's gonna come?"
There's one other thing I wanted to thank Paul C. I bought a Black Manta DCUC figure for cheap, and
can we take that clip, edit it? I want to chop that up real quick. No. I bought a black man.
Oh God! It'll just be me and Kanye singing our songs together. And I'll be like, you tried to tell him, man. But he came as described, with one exception. He smelled like cigarettes that were smoked 10 years ago.
That's nasty.
So the seller reached out.
Did this say no smoke, no pet home?
We're going to get to it. The seller reached out to me and said, hey, see that it arrived today. Thanks for doing business, blah, blah, blah. I wrote back and I said, it did arrive, but it smells like a whole pack of cigarettes. And then he said, dude, sorry, you can send it back. Like, I'm a dealer of stuff. I don't even open most of the stuff I get before I just relist or whatever. And I just didn't write back to him. I just didn't have the time. So I put him in I caked him in baking soda, hoping that it would do something. Because baking soda has weird powers that I don't quite understand.
Adsorbent.
It didn't do shit. Paul C. happened to write me in the interim. And he said, if you put the figure in dry ice, it will eliminate the smell. And I was like, well, where the fuck am I going to get dry ice from?
That was my question.
And then he wrote back and said, I said dry rice. And then I was like, oh, that's me trying not to be racist.
Your auto-filter kicked in? Because for a second, I'm like... I thought it would make sense because of use ozone as a deodorizer. O3 and like insurance plans.
Yeah. So anyway,
dry ice.
I only had a little bit of dry rice left, but
Why do you even have dry rice?
Because we eat a lot of rice actually. You know,
Interesting.
Sometimes we eat wild rice, Joe. That would fuck you up, wouldn't it?
Or that long rice.
I don't like that.
No brown rice?
I feel like brown rice.
Yeah, I like brown rice.
Good.
I like brown rice. Yeah, it's equal opportunity over here, man.
Hey, I just asking.
Dirty rice?
That's what he calls brown rice.
I gotta look. 'Cause some of these rices get a little out of control. But long story short, put them in the dry rice, and 24 hours later, took them out. It's good as new.
Get out of here.
Good as new. He said whatever the rice does to phones, the way it absorbs shit, it does the same shit with scents.
Maybe that's why Asian people live fucking forever. It just absorbs all the bad shit.
Maybe.
We eat so much fucking rice.
Maybe.
Absorb essences.
So, EM, as you are the most guest-like here, how has been your nerd year? I think you were last here in February.
Yeah. It's been good. I kind of went on a bit of a shopping spree at Hot Toys or Sideshow.
Did you really?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just some stuff that was in my
What'd you get?
List. What'd I get? I got the Spider-Man Miles Morales 2099. Was it 2020 or 20? The futuristic looking one from the video game.
Okay.
I picked that up. I picked up off eBay. I got a Rocket and Groot, the original from Guardians.
Rocket and Groot. Okay.
And there was another Spider-Man I got too. Another Miles Morales one from. So I have collection and it's MCU, Miles Morales, Spider-Verse, and then the video games. So those are Hot Toys I'm looking for now. And I'm about to put an order in for a couple more things.
I'm closing in on my final Hot Toys as well. You see, I got the Jack Nicholson up there now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Dude, he looks fucking perfect.
That's great.
But I'm closing in on it. I'm almost done. I bought my first. I don't want. I'll go ahead and talk about it. I bought my first third-party 1/6 scale figure this past week.
What's coming in?
Well, I was going to say.
Don't even
You don't even know the name.
No, I mean
Chad's Toys.
it might as well be. It might as well be. It's like. Let me see. I can look it up.
What was the figure?
So I'm going to tell you. It's a Snyderverse. It's the Joker from Snyderverse with he has like the insane asylum, I think. No, he has like a butcher or chef's type like uniform, or maybe it's an insane asylum schmuck, and then he has like the bulletproof vest over it with all the sheriff's badges all over it, and the rubber like deep cleaning gloves. And so on and so forth. But I'm gonna get what his name is, the company's name. But the name of him was Doomsday Reveler, which I thought was a cool name. Nightmare Joker, Justice League, Flashpoint, Doomsday Reveler. It doesn't say the company on any of these videos.
Damn.
What site do you get it from? Was it like a?
So I got it from a private dealer out of Australia.
Huh.
Damn, you went up for all the sketchy shit.
This is like really.
So I happened to see it in a Facebook group, and then I Googled it, looked on the secondary market, and they were all like $300 to $330, and he was selling it for $230 shipped. And I was like, all right, well, I'll throw the dice on it. You know, it's PayPal insured. You know, and you know, so we'll see. It looks great. You know, like, and I have those two little empty slots, so to speak, back there for my Snyderverse area, and I'll put Doomsday or Joker in one, and then Cyborg in the other, and then that fucking thing's done.
Nice.
You know, I'm just checking them off these days.
That's, you know, take a break from it for a while and got to get back into it. Yeah, nothing else much. I want to hunt for a PS5 now because I feel like everything's starting to go next gen. I couldn't even get Gotham Knights because
I know that's the one, but like I just don't play this shit enough to justify it.
I'm trying to justify it, but I really like those Arkham series games.
They're great, and
so I was like, it might be worth it. I should have picked one up a couple months ago when a buddy of mine was selling it, and so that's what I'm looking for now. I'm about to go buy God of War. Was it Ragnarok?
Yeah,
is that about to buy that this week? saw Black Adam, and once again, Dwayne Johnson can do no wrong.
except that fucking movie.
There's no way.
Where
no
he
way.
is a plastic bag.
I won't hear any slander on.
He is a plastic bag on film.
So I've heard rumors about the movie that it's an early Oscar contender for 2023.
Yeah.
So between that and Wakanda Forever, I think they're going to tie. I like
Well, Wakanda Forever might. It might. You know, I think the first one was nominated for stuff.
Yeah, I think this one
It probably wasn't political at all.
Nah, not at all. This one
his own
definitely
merits,
will.
bro.
I think Angela Bassett's role, I think they said, was a big one, that she might be the first comic book Marvel character to get an Oscar nod. But
That would be cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been more media than actual.
Did you watch She-Hulk?
I did.
What did you think?
I felt obligated to.
Yeah, same.
Like most stuff that comes out on Disney, I feel obligated. What did I think, honestly?
Trash.
I didn't say it was trash. It didn't meet
finished
my
it, though.
expectations.
You could say this.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't think it was complete trash. 0 to 10, I'd probably give it a 4.
Okay.
It wasn't what I expected. Not really what I wanted. Didn't progress the whole universe at all. Any much.
Yeah.
It wasn't my style with my flavor, and
It sounds like it set it back, if nothing else.
yeah,
really.
I definitely feel like it will keep people from wanting to take a chance on properties like that or characters like that. And I think it could have done a lot to establish her and the ongoing MCU. But
I actually think so. My review of Black Panther 2 or Wakanda Forever is going to be at the end of this episode.
nice.
But
You get an early screening.
no, I'm going tomorrow, and I'm just going to add it on to
Gotcha.
the end. But
Well, I'm going today.
are you really?
Yeah, I'm going at 4. That's why I'm off today.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
like
Wow,
it.
everyone's
Let
taking
me
off
off.
to go watch
So
Black Panther.
I think we should talk about it a bit. Might as well talk about it now.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Joe, I'm looking at you because it's a safe space. I think that it is the most promising looking Marvel property that we have seen in Phase 4.
Oh, yeah.
Period. End of
I agree.
statement. I also
That's not
think
saying
it
much, though.
has a lot of work to do to pull Phase 4 out of the trenches from which it has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. They put themselves behind before they put this movie out. If it wasn't for all the trash that came out the last year, like it would have been a much better spot.
You think they lowered the standards so much for Phase 4 that this has nowhere to go but up?
I agree, but I don't know if it can get out of the trench.
I don't think that it's. I think the movie's going to do well. I don't think as far as the MCU Phase 4, I don't think it's going to do anything to save Phase 4 at all. I think as a movie, people are going to come out of it probably like, it looked good, the story made sense, it felt right. You know, and it's setting things up later, but Phase 4 is like, it's a lost cause.
I think it has a lot. I'll tell you why I think it has a lot of promise. Because Marvel movies are the best when the good guys fight the good guys. And if Namor's the villain, I think it has the most chance of being
Such
like
a colonial way to say it. It's Namor.
Namor.
Or whatever.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Bobby's face is incredulous.
Welcome to the world of rainbow people. Yes.
Have you always called it that?
Since he came out, yeah.
Came out.
There's more that you need to know about him, too.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. These days, I don't know.
I should have went with that. Went with it.
I was like, well, I mean, the briefs are a bold choice.
I mean, the little wing, the leg wings and shit.
But is it really Namor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say that no more. I don't like that. Have you always called him that? You haven't always called him that.
No.
Nobody has. Nobody has.
Nobody.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Namor?
Namor.
when I heard that, I was like, interesting. I'm going to try it.
I mean, imagine people refusing to call you Bobby. Like, nah, fuck that. You're Robert.
Yeah, but
that's the same shit.
Nah, but that's a fictional character, Joe. Fictional characters.
I think because of the change in his culture, they're
Yeah.
going to lean more towards how it would be pronounced if he was of Hispanic descent. And
Is that what they're trying to say, that he's Hispanic?
Yes.
He's Hispanic in the sea? I'm just asking.
Ain't no one saying shit right now. You're on your own, Bobby.
just asking.
You're on your fucking own. the one fucking white guy at the table.
Let's get Gomez on the phone.
My gears were turning as he said, I was like, well, shit, that doesn't make sense.
All right. I'm going to leave that alone. This movie's already got a point against it in my book so far. They should lean into the Atlantean. Isn't that he's an Atlantean, right?
Yeah, he's still.
They're not calling it Atlantis anymore.
Are you fucking with me?
I'm not fucking with you. I promise you.
What do they call it now?
Some weird, not weird, some different name.
Okay.
I think it lends more towards the Aztecian roots or Mayan roots that they're going into, but it's definitely not Atlantis. To avoid any conflict with the Aquaman and whatnot too. So they're really leaning more.
But Disney have Atlantis, the animated movie.
Namor might have.
They do.
Yeah. Namor might have been one of those Marvel characters that actually predates the DC version.
He does. Yes. However, they've introduced Aquaman into the
for sure.
It also makes sense in a way that I mean, lore-wise, just like mental gymnastics, because Atlantis is something we call it's myth for us, right? But for them, it's like we're not Atlantis. We have our own name. You just call us Atlantis.
I like that.
Yeah.
We don't know what horses want to be called.
And honestly, they might address it that way in the movie too.
I have a good joke. Hold on. Some things are too easy and yet too dangerous at the same time.
It's good that you pause ahead. You didn't have to edit. We're zero edit today, which is great.
Hopefully.
That's why I like recording in person at home, because it's like as soon as I say so, like
I edited Chris last week.
Yeah.
Like afterwards, like I always can tell now if something sits in my stomach a certain way. It's just I'll feel better if I go back and take it out. You know, it's just to protect the innocent is what it's to do. It's like, you know what I mean? Somebody take it out of context.
Protect the Guilty, I think was the name of the episode.
It was another one.
Edited 3 times. It was three edits.
That one was to protect the guilty. But yeah, I think it has a lot of potential for that reason, because that's what Marvel, in my opinion, has always done best, is good guys against good guys. I just hope they really do a decent enough job. See, I think they're in a tricky spot, because I think because of what happened to Chadwick, this has to be a Panther movie. It can't be a Namor movie.
Correct.
Namor movie, yeah.
See, he's trying it.
But in order for me, I think, to dive in... No.
This is going to be fucking Aquaman all over again, but with goddamn...
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's like every opportunity.
Yeah. I'm going to need to really kind of focus on his character a good bit. Like I would want to understand him and his motivations, because I don't want him to be like a mustache twirler, you know?
I think the one-dimensional villains is definitely where they Marvel fails a lot with the I'm just evil for the sake of being evil, because whatever. And I think they could make him, because they're going to have plans to continue using him in the future, so you don't want to make him one-dimensional. If you do, kind of give him some type of character arc. But bless you. I'm looking forward to it in the sense that in thinking about hearing you guys talk, I don't hope that it absolves or brings up phase 4. I just hope that it kind of wets the palate.
We're good at this. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're good at this.
I hope it wets your palate for phase 5, because I think everyone's excited about phase 5 and how is this going to tie into the Kang dynasty that they're setting up for, or future characters.
So it's the internet, obviously, but there are rumors about potential post-credit. Which, if that happens, then that's a big setup.
Is it X stuff?
No.
Okay. Because that's where to get my juices.
And honestly, I think I intentionally ignore the ideal of mutants.
Yeah.
Period. For the MCU right now, because everyone's so like, oh, fuck everything else, give me the X-Men, fuck it up just like Fox, just rush it. And it's like, no, just chill, let them slow burn it.
I agree, slow burn it, but you know what I mean, let's start getting some tender together.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have been kind of slowly
they've been in
dropping
there.
little things.
We got Professor X in there in the movie.
Well, I mean, Wolverine hints here and there.
Yeah.
Wolverine hints?
She-Hulk did.
Oh, that's right.
They had a couple little drops there,
because she's like aware of it all, though. Which is weird.
Earlier in the season, the newspaper clip.
Oh, I'm not sure if I caught it.
There's as they open up the papers, like bar fight, men with metal claws.
Oh,
bar
really?
Fight. I'm dumb. Everybody immediately said Wolverine. Me, I'm thinking like claws, like clampers. I was like, oh, that's fucking dumb,
man. Finally.
The fucked up thing is you're probably right with that fucking show.
But then there's a part in like one of the later episodes, her friend comes out and was like trying to get her ready for the wedding, I guess, or the gala or some bullshit. And she comes out with like the makeup brushes in her hands, and she like comes out like Wolverine. I was like, oh, okay, nice little nod there.
Yeah.
So it's like
Did
they're
they
like
hint towards that in Miss Marvel somewhere too?
There's a mutant.
So, yeah,
there's talk of mutants.
he said like your mutation.
genes have mutated.
Yeah, you mutated. So I mean, there's like little hints here and there that's not heavy-handed,
Right,
which
but like it's coming.
Gotta
I
be the
enjoy-
worst fucking mutant team ever. Like Miss Marvel will be the lead.
I enjoy the idea that they're at least giving like little hints instead of just
Yeah.
putting it right in your face like Doctor Strange. Here's Professor X, and everybody's
Yeah.
like, yes, and then he gets killed, and it's like, I was excited for that. I was like, fuck yeah, get rid of Fox.
Yeah, I agree with that. That they do need to start over. What else was I going to say, if anything, about the Wakanda Forever bit? The last thing was two things. How do you feel about Shuri
What about her?
being taking up the mantle? Do you think that? I mean, it seems like that's the way
Comic
it's going.
accurate. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
Would that have been your preference as well?
I have a couple schools of thought on it as far as who I would have loved to seen take up the mantle. I think we talked about this before as far as its idea of do you recast or not recast. With the multiverse being open up, I think it does lend the opportunity for you to recast that role because you haven't scratched the surface with vibranium claws.
And Service of the Water.
Yes. You haven't scratched the surface of the stories that you tell with T'Challa. And I think
I agree.
It was tragically cut short, but that doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. So it's, damn, I wasn't trying. I promise you I wasn't trying. I promise I didn't try to do that. So I think you have to really go through the whole scope of, because Namor and T'Challa have a storied past and storied hit. Like that is something you really need to hit on. You can't substitute
Their relationship is one of the more interesting relationships in Marvel.
So we have to we've opened up the multiverse. So that's why I'm fine with recasting, but with respect. You're not gonna, just act like it's the same T'Challa, right? But in this movie, I wouldn't have minded if they put M'Baku in that role because based on the MCU, he was the next to challenge.
Yeah.
All that stuff. He's shown he's an effective leader and whatnot. Sure, I get it because of the what do you call it? The legacy and the royal bloodline type stuff. Why she is taking up the mantle. Nakia? She's a trained assassin. Okoye is a trained warrior. Like certain people who I could see filling that role before Shuri. MCU wise, even though I know comic wise, it's accurate.
Right. That's fair.
And I think like there's no right answer. First of all, and I think Marvel is in a hard spot for that because
100%.
everybody has a different idea of what they want and what they don't want.
Right.
So like you just trying to. I think they just have to piss the least amount of people off as possible is what they're going for.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that there isn't a plan to do that because
later, but
we have the multiverse kind of blossoming, but to drop a new T'Challa in
you
right
need time.
now,
You need
You're
time.
right.
I mean, I wouldn't even be opposed if by the end of this there was more than one. If there was multiple Black Panthers that I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like it's just like the Black Panther team. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Real
Because
Black Panthers,
like with
Party.
M'Baku and all some of these other options.
So you going the Shazam family route?
Yeah, of sorts. But I think that they're in a tough spot. I think it's a little weird that the Hot Toys has her looking over her shoulder with her ass face towards the camera. I'm just going to say that. I think that's a little weird.
That's just the way things work.
Yeah.
It's like the only one that's that way.
no, it's not.
I mean,
weird
the
at all.
world, the world,
Seems
the
fine.
world.
I'm buying it.
But other than that, I think it's the easy. Like I don't mean this in the wrong way, but I think it's the easy choice. Like
I agree.
kind of what you say. It's like
Absolutely.
it's the path of least resistance.
Yep.
It's like it's not going to ruffle too many feathers. It makes sense. People will understand.
Yeah, I don't think it's a wrong choice.
Correct.
I think with the way that Phase 4 has been going, this is just from what I've been hearing around the gym. It's like every Marvel property. Mind you, these are guys who say they're comic book fans since the movies have come out, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're like upset that female characters or female superheroes are a thing. So one of the guys, because I guess Lego accidentally revealed that it was going to be Shuri, and I was talking to one of my teammates, and he was like, "Man, why does it have to be her? Why can't it be anyone else? And I was like, I mean, it's comic accurate, you know. Like, had he brought up the point that you're making, like, about leadership.
Yeah.
That's, you know, okay, you got an argument. No, his argument was just, it doesn't have to be a female.
Jeez.
And then, even with that, I guess he was like, well, I heard they're doing a time jump, like 18 years in the future. So it's going to be T'Challa's son. I was like, you understand that this is the MCU, so other movies exist. So they can't just jump 18 years into the future for Wakanda.
Bump phase 5, 6, and 7.
It's like, yeah, fuck all those other movies. It's only this. So,
yeah.
But, and I'm sure it's probably a small pocket of people complaining right now.
It's always going to be.
But, I mean,
you could have made Black Panther Chris Evans and people would complain. So.
What if they made
I think a lot of people would complain.
I think arguably more.
What if they brought Terrence Howard back?
No, man.
I was looking for it.
I was like, wait, I couldn't get it.
But I've already started seeing some of I know that I talked to Porter. Porter said that he was going to go see it, and I was like, "Is this the second Marvel movie that you've seen?" And he's like, "Yep." And I was like, "Perfect." I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and one of the guys on there is like dating a white girl, and he said that he was taking her to go see it, and they asked if that was appropriate.
Damn.
Motherfuckers, man.
Hey, bro, buy tickets, go see it.
Yeah.
I mean, what I tell you?
It's a weird world, dude.
It is very weird.
That being said, do you have anything else you have to offer? Or
Nah, man, just go out see the movie. You know,
Multiple times.
Yeah, it's just buy multiple seats. Buy out of the theater. I don't mind. You know. But
do you think that? Remember last time the people were like going in like garb?
I've already got my outfit. Don't play with me.
What is it?
So I have a couple.
Yeah.
One is a traditional African.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He's going multiple times.
It's
He's
fucking-
not wearing the same clothes.
I gotta look regal for everyone.
You gotta-
the first one is gotta be all white for morning. The second one is gonna be.
I want to see some LARPing, man. I want the accent.
You ain't said nothing but a word. Oh man! So yeah,
It has been too long.
I see the one guy bring his white girlfriend. We don't do that here.
Fuck.
But I think it's going to be what they call a cultural event. Also because not in exactly the same way the first one was either. It's more so because this is a mourning event too of the loss of a great guy, Chadwick. So people are going to support whatever he's been a part of, and in some ways this is a lot of people's way to really grieve him because what he passed in August 2020, and there was so it was very unexpected. So I think this is one of those going to be last big tributes towards him.
Well, I was going to wear my black Air Forces, but with
That
the
shows you're ready for violence.
that's the problem, isn't it? It's a double-edged sword. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place here.
Man, he want all the smoke.
Dante, it's only been 2 weeks. How's your nerd weeks been?
You know, I actually took down a couple notes.
Did you really?
Wow.
Well, this morning, because when I saw the message, I was like, well, shit, what was I going to talk about on Columpton?
Love
That way
to
I don't
hear.
got to record Columpton this week now.
What you got?
So, Black Panther, obviously, go see that this afternoon. We already had that discussion. So, last time we spoke, we were talking about the Instagram money thing.
Yeah.
That afternoon, when I left here, they demonetized me.
Really?
Damn.
What the?
No explanation at all.
They don't even send you a notice?
Nope. Well, so I put up a post, and then I got a message that said, this post isn't monetizing, which I've gotten that before for other posts.
All right, Kyrie.
For whatever for whatever reason. Well, it was a like so I know that I've been breaking the rules. I've been breaking the rules since day one. So
You just flying under the radar.
Yeah.
I just want them to tell me that's why
Yes.
I'm demonetized. Don't just say you're demonetized and then leave an error message every time I go to click to see why.
That is fucked up.
But well, the money that was already pulled Like, I'm like, hey, y'all gonna still send that, right?
It's over 100.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, flex on. I love that shit. I love that energy.
I only operate in over 100. So. I'm sorry, actually 200.
Oh,
Like, yeah, that's kind of the. If it's over 200, I'm like, all right, I'm cool.
yeah.
Anything like over 200, it's all bonus. If it hits 200, I was like, okay, expect it.
Yeah.
That's what you motherfuckers
That's cool.
owe me. But yeah, they took it away from me. So I'm hoping when the when it restarts, I'm hoping.
They'll
I
give you an
think mine is the
opportunity
14th. I'm looking for it. All right, click on it. If not, no big deal. When it happened though, I was in like a slight depression. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
Because I was like,
Fuck.
it was more so like, what did I do?
Right.
I just want to know. So I mean,
You could. It was like it could have been one of any number of things. I want to know which one to fix.
yeah, well, because again, I know I'm not playing by the rules. You're not supposed to use a picture as a reel. Like, it's supposed to be basically if you do a reel, it has to be you in that video.
Oh, really?
Damn.
That's what it says, and not a single reel that I've ever
No.
posted has had me in it.
But people don't do that anyway.
Yeah.
That's not the norm. They're dumb.
Well, a lot of the ones that I repost are those people who put them. Well, and then they offer me the idea, like, do a subscription. I was like, how fucked up is that? The way that I post, I do repost. How
Yes.
disrespectful is that? Hey,
Yeah.
subscribe to me to see Bobby shit.
Yep.
I got you.
Where you go to his shit and see it for free, but come to me.
Right.
You'll pay me $4.99 a month.
Well, I mean, there are people that filter, a lot of content out there to just kind of give the cream of the crop. That might be worth a subscription. You know
And
what I mean?
and that's kind of what I'll look for an account that's like low, like low numbers, and I'll repost it, and then it spikes them. And I always forget about it, and I get a message like, dude, like I saw I got 40 new followers this morning. Thanks. I'm like, I didn't know it worked that way, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
Like, give me money. I recorded with Phil. We did a She-Hulk
God bless Phil.
episode. We were having some scheduling issues, so we're like, look, dude, let's just do it now. We both got the time. We did a little Off the Mats Nerdcast She-Hulk episode. Since my guest canceled today or postponed for today,
Something going on in the fucking ocean, in the ocean.
Something in the water.
Yeah, something in the
which
water.
is what opened me up for the record today, but we're just gonna put that episode out on Monday. He was like, wait, the regular Off the Mats fans aren't gonna be upset? I was like, at what? It's like, it's not your regular content. It's like, dude, I don't have regular content. I just put episodes out. I don't even know what I'm talking about most of the time. I don't have a blueprint.
Right.
Like, I recorded with some chick from Ireland the other day. I didn't have a plan. I was just like, what's up, man?
She's like, miss.
It was like, oh, yeah, you still doing jiu-jitsu, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Politics. Go. And then she started.
Oh, I did that this week. I voted.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I voted. I voted.
Did that.
Last week, I voted.
Yeah.
Because
The recreational thing passed too.
I know.
Yeah.
68%.
It's awesome.
It's pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be higher.
Yeah.
Like,
See what you did there.
unintentional. But yeah, recorded with Phil. It was a fun episode. It's always fun recording with Phil. During the episode, I said we need Joe here because we went way off track, and then you reminded me that you took us off track with the pastry talk.
Bro,
Like, oh, okay.
man, I'm cutting. Don't start food talk with me.
I'm trying to lose weight, man. I think my heart be hurting sometimes. And then I watched the movie Barbarian. There was a lot of hype behind that movie.
Yes.
Barbarian.
I don't think I heard of it.
Yeah.
What is it on? It's on HBO.
Oh, is
Okay.
it?
No,
Oh,
I might check it
I'll
out.
check it out. Yeah, I'll look at it.
So
It was streaming. I'm gonna check it out. I thought it was in theaters
oh
only.
yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not going to fucking theaters or anything. I'm
Except for
going,
Black
for
Panther.
Black Panther, and then I'm done until the next Black Panther. But so the one big
Shang-Chi
thing.
too?
Huh?
Do I have to go to Shang-Chi too?
Yes.
I mean,
Same
Is
rules.
that how that works?
Same
Same
rules
rules?
apply.
It'll be weird if you don't.
Same rules apply.
So the big thing with this movie is when they released the trailer, they only released one trailer. And it was an intense trailer. It was good. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit. And then the big thing was you see that trailer, then you see the movie.
They did a second trailer.
They eventually
Yeah,
did a second
yeah,
trailer
yeah.
after the movie came out. But beforehand, it's like, okay, wow, I got to see this. This is really good. The first time I watched it, I did not like it. but I think it was because I was hyped up on this whole like,
That's
yo,
the problem.
that like, and that's the thing. I rarely go into a movie, with expectations or hype.
Yeah.
I just go in and say, let's watch it. But I was so pumped for it. And that first quarter of the movie, loved it. The next part, I was like, okay, I don't hate it. I'm just trying to connect. Then once they connected, then there's the third part. Don't get it. And then it was like, okay, I get it now. And then like the final quarter is like, okay, there's a lot of shit that happens that doesn't make sense. Like, why would a person do that type shit?
I mean, it's horror movies, right?
True, but this was super over the top. Just like, oh yeah, the killer's there. Go there. No, oh, you're just gonna go. Okay, cool. You're just gonna go there. All right, cool.
All white people.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Damn.
Oh damn, not even. Ooh.
Yeah.
No,
Yikes.
that's why I was more
Look
disappointed.
I like to see other races stepping up, man.
Now I watched it a second time with the knowledge from watching the first time. I enjoyed it more the second time. Like I was able
Knowing what happens.
well, because I was then able to kind of understand why certain parts were happening. So I would say, yeah, check it out.
Barbaric.
He didn't like. I don't like it, but check it out.
No. The second time, I did enjoy
It's a
it.
hell of an endorsement.
Yeah. No, you have to watch it twice, but it's good.
For you to like
I have
it.
to watch most movies twice because I'm a little dumb.
Yeah, well, I
So-
can relate there at least.
So it's like when I watch a movie the first time, I'm just like, what?
Pictures
Huh?
and sounds.
Like, hey, oh shit, those subtitles. We're supposed to be reading. I thought they were saying English words I didn't know. So, but yeah, after that second watch, it was fun. It was
Well,
it
good.
was like, I still look at those certain parts where it's like, why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. That's stupid. But, like the gore for it was good. I didn't personally look at it like a horror movie in the sense of like the traditional horror, but the premise is scary.
Okay.
So go check it out. HBO. I think
Yeah, it's
that's
free.
it.
If you already have HBO.
Are you watching Andor at all?
Is it done? Because I was just
Yeah,
gonna,
that's my question too. Is it done?
No.
I'm gonna
don't
wait
think
and
so.
just
If it's not, then
power
no.
through all of
Exactly.
it because
This episode was good. This week it was like a prison revolution.
How many more episodes are there?
I have no idea.
They don't say.
no,
Usually,
Yeah, no, I usually have to look it up. I usually don't know.
Okay.
Guys, I'm not
So-
watching it next week because Bake Off is next week, so I have to watch that.
But they said like one of the cool things about like it's like a space prison, and like obviously, but like it's not in space though. It's like on a planet, right? But it's like a futuristic prison is what I mean by that when I say space prison. But like they're like these people are like in. Like they're contained to like floors and segments. So like none of them, like, the people in 5B might be 30 guys or whatever. They have no idea what's going on in 2C or 6B or whatever. Right.
sounds like my neighborhood.
Right. But the way that the revolution starts is kind of cool because they all have sentences, right? And their sentences are on a screen in their jail cell, and depending upon their performance that day, their sentence goes down or up, right? So you get
that's fucked up. It changes things.
Right?
So,
Damn.
so you got like sentenced to 6 years, but you have a bad day, and it's like, well, now it's 6 years and 2 days.
What if you're sick? Like,
Yeah, they're not feeling that. The Empire's not really understanding in that way.
That's not like the worst system if like merits take your days down.
So I
anyway-
was thinking like, what if you did good though, and then it brings it
Right.
your sentence down. That's when I was like,
Yeah,
this is okay.
it's not a worse. Not
We're getting there.
but what if you do good and then
getting-
somebody fucks around and finds out and it takes you out of your character and then you gotta.
So here's the truth: none of it matters because this
wow.
dude gets out. They just transform to a different wing and give him a new sentence.
Wow.
So you never get out. It's just yeah. So
That's
but,
clever.
But he told somebody, they freaked out. They started a riot, and then the rumbling of their riot kind of spread throughout the prison. And then they're finally like, look, it's like we're dead already. Like we might as well fight. And like they fight.
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds
a
real
very
It's
familiar.
kind of dumb that they do that without like, yeah. They can't keep that up without.
Yeah.
There's no NDAs, right?
yeah. So it's like it was like a powerful bit though.
What's the lead character's name?
Cassian Andor.
Matt Turner? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I sounded really familiar. I was just curious.
That's funny. And then there's Joe, how was your nerd week?
That shit. Bought fucking like over $1,000 worth of IKEA.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you too?
Just splurge.
I'm at.
Dude,
I did the same thing this week.
It's not. I got a double raise.
It sucks
at
being
work.
the poor one at the
Got a
table.
double raise.
Yeah, I had a raise, and then they were like, "Here's another one before your real one." I thought it was a mistake, so like, no, you're just gonna double raise this. I'm like,
Shit.
all right,
Man, who does your bargaining agreement?
Look, y'all make fun of me, but I have a handler. All right,
I'm not making fun of you.
No, that's not fair. I need one.
my handler handles me very well.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah,
I mean, I definitely have a handler as well. She just told me when my dentist appointment was. just like 20 minutes ago.
yeah. So it's crazy that because I was looking around the house, I had the day off, and I still have some stacks of boxes from fucking 3 years ago moving in that I don't know what to do with. A bunch of Deadpool shit that's not not Module worthy. It's just sitting in bins.
Right.
You don't go to Cons anymore. I can't give you an IKEA bag to get rid of them for me.
Right.
But then I was like, because we switch office, me and Krista. So I'm in the downstairs office with all her shit, which I'm fine with.
Right.
But she wanted to move it to the other side of the wall. People who haven't been in the house, I'm sorry, but Bobby knows.
Yeah.
The other side in the living room side, because
Yeah.
it's the same wall.
Right.
She's like, why don't we move that there? Then have to get some lights in the room because this house, man, it's a big house, but they were really cheap with fixtures. I tell you what, there's no fucking fixtures nowhere.
That one room in particular with the fireplace is a dark room.
Yeah, it's the living room.
Crazy
It's
how
dark.
that-
All the bedrooms have no fixtures unless you like pay extra or something.
Really?
I had to.
that's
I had
true.
to add 2 fixtures when I bought the house.
That's true.
Sucks.
Yeah,
You see where they cheaped out.
yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So I was like, why don't instead of me having to move literally 10 Detolfs and Bestas and all your toys, why don't I just buy 10 more Detolfs and 2 Bestas?
I like your problem solving skills.
And then their delivery charge is no horror either.
No.
It's
Fucking.
fucking. So like we're talking about it.
They really want you to come to the store.
Was it okay? Because we're like in the past when I'm talking about big purchases like that. I'm not trying to flex, but like it's just weird.
Oh, flex on, my friend.
Place in my life right now that you talk about it, you think about it, and like how I'm gonna get this to happen. Like we talked about it for 5 minutes. Yeah, that's just a good idea. I was like, IKEA purchase, and I'm just like, I just like clicked the button for like $1,200, $1,300, just like that, and it's hard to reconcile. Because it feels good, but also like, at the same time, it's like, man, what are you doing? You just fucking threw a bunch of money away at like on a whim, basically, right? It was within an hour of coming up with the idea and clicking buy.
I like that.
Yeah.
We need to hang out more.
It's just crazy. And then shipping for all that shit was only like $100.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wasn't like 99.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
No contact. Like I was waiting for the delivery guy, and I was like, "Damn, he's still not here." And I looked outside, all the boxes were just stacked on the porch.
Oh, they already came.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice,
we put
nice,
them all
nice.
together. Like,
Holy
we're
Oh, it's already done.
We're pros, dude. This is.
I'm not surprised at how fast you put them together. I'm surprised at how
it's
fast
little-
the whole process
Yes.
was.
Yeah. Within a week of me, let's get fucking 10 Detolfs and having 10
Yeah.
Detolfs put up.
Yeah.
IKEA's on point. I like it.
IKEA is on point, dude. Like, and I didn't have to talk to nobody. I didn't have to worry about because I was asking Chris, do I tip IKEA guys? We did pay for delivery, but sometimes you pay for delivery, but the delivery drivers don't get that money.
Yeah.
And I was like debating this, and then it was already fucking there. So.
Dude, love to hear it.
But yeah, it only took us like 3 hours to put together everything. With just like IKEA experts. I didn't have to look at the directions. These hands remember. Muscle memory. I might have had put together 40 fucking Detolfs in my life because I put together some of y'all's too.
Yep.
You Adams. I don't know if I don't think I put any Pinkertons together, but yeah. But that's fun. So we're gonna the not fun process of moving all her figures into the new case and then putting all my trash into my cases.
Wow.
But yeah, good time. Good, but also good because we segue. Booked a trip. Spending a lot of money this fucking week, bro.
Man, I love it.
We just we
good.
booked a Japan trip for next May already.
Oh, really?
Pay for the hotels and the flights already.
What part of Japan?
Only one part, which is Akiba, which is like anime town. There's one specific area in Tokyo that's all anime. We do travel outside of it for a couple of days here and there because there's other anime stores away from there. But that's where we stay the whole time.
This would be the first time since COVID, right?
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, bought and paid for that already. And well, I was saying
from COVID to COVID, you know what I mean?
that's not how I be. I am not cabin fever, man. I can stay home all the time. I miss Japan. We talk about Japanese food all the time. Again, when cutting, I'm just thinking about food, and when I think about food that I don't normally get to have, and I don't normally get to have Japanese food in Japan.
And it's fast too because they ain't even got to cook it.
Do you think? Do you think Namor cooks his food somehow?
Who?
Namor.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Right? They probably all just eat.
That's an interesting question.
Right?
I
Do they
wonder.
have cuisines or no?
I wonder if they're also vegetarian. It seems like a very vegetarian look with the little briefs. You know what I mean? I can see it.
They look vegetarian-ish.
Yeah.
I want a vegetarian look like.
Yeah, and I think they would take it as an insult to like hurt the sea creatures. You know what I mean? So like, they'd have to like come.
We
up.
don't take insults at hurting land creatures.
Yeah, but we don't view the land the same way that they view the sea. They're like protective of it. We're like, build another factory.
Fuck the
You
air.
think they just eat fucking kelp and shit?
Yeah, we're like,
Is kelp from the ocean?
we're like,
seaweed?
I could.
Oh, what? I bet his mind was blown when he had a burger for the first time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they come up to the land and fuck our animals up, and then they can cook them there.
Yes.
And then go back into the.
Just
do you
like
think
seafood
Namor
is
would
dead?
let Hibachi
Namor,
chef
motherfucker. Start dead naming him.
throw the shrimp in his mouth?
My name is Toby.
All right, I now feel uncomfortable to address the conversation.
Yes. Yes. I was waiting.
Except I am going to say this: my fucking grandma, who was born in 1919, I believe, fucking made me watch Roots.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
And thought OJ was innocent. So, like, I feel like she would have got invited to the cookout.
Absolutely.
Not only was she the only person in the world that thought he was innocent, she's definitely the only white woman that thought he was innocent.
OJ didn't think he was innocent. Like when they said
read the
not
Friday
guilty,
thing. What?
OJ was like,
surprised.
When that glove didn't fit quite right, he was just, oh, son of a... Good thing I didn't return these motherfuckers.
yo, he looked at Johnny Cocker and was like, this is our out.
I imagine land creatures is delicacies for them, like seafood is for us.
Yeah, that might be true. I can, but I don't know.
Kill a lion and drag it into the water.
Yeah, because you would think that like fire would kind of creep them out. You know, like it's kind of like Robin.
Doesn't bother SpongeBob.
That's fair. But like, you know,
Most valid point ever, actually.
Robin Williams said that like the way to defeat Taliban was just to drop off a bunch of shit they probably never seen in their life, like peanut butter and frogs.
Peanut butter.
They might just die from trying to eat peanut butter.
They're just like, what?
Eating peanut butter wrong, just shoving like clumps in their mouth and choking to death
These
on
fucking
it.
frogs just jumping around. They're just like, what the fuck?
We concede.
Good times.
Yeah.
Spent. I don't know. I don't want to talk about exactly how much we spent on money.
Yeah.
Also because I bought a bunch of Magic cards.
Did you buy the 30th anniversary Zim?
Fuck no.
Hey, did you see my video that I did?
Yes, I did. So yeah. Also, on that note, I'll get back on that note. But I bought like $500 worth of cardboard.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Of like vintage stuff or like new stuff?
Mix. I bought a box. With that box I put on Insta is like $200. But the value I got out of that was way more. Mm-hmm. It was the best like pack cracking I've ever done in my entire life.
Pack cracking.
Somehow I doubt that.
You call it cracking packs. It's packs of cards. Mm-hmm. There's a way you crack them open.
Hey man, I would love to see you packing cracks or cracking packs.
But it was
Hey,
like
man,
the equivalent of like.
Never mind.
It was like the equivalent of like winning 2 scratch offs in one purchase.
What cards were they?
Like Magic
the Gathering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like the top 2 most expensive cards. Yes, spell table.
I told you that was that kid said in Jana's class where like
Yes.
Jana was like watching this like anime and he's like, oh, I love that. He's like, they fuck with her because she's like doesn't know how to socially navigate a room, but they're like, oh, I love that anime, and they're like, she's like, really? Who's your favorite character? He's like, I don't know, the wizard. She was like, "Guy's an asshole." I was like, "It sounds cool."
That's funny as shit.
You just have to be honest with you. Unbiased third party.
That's funny as shit.
But yeah,
I can't
and
imagine
on top of that, I bought a bunch of single cards because we went with Cody because Cody was here. I always take him to. Well, it's the second time, but this is my favorite card store in the world.
Yeah.
And then I just in the mood, went in Rome, bought a bunch of singles.
Good for you.
So I ended up buying like $500 worth of cards.
Everybody can't take it with you, Joe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
right.
they don't overcharge there really. Like everything else is about market price, and even things that normally are gouged, like the 40K cards, they are going for double, triple price on the internet. They're selling it at
cost.
At cost.
I like that.
They said they have sold a few online for a little bit higher charge, but they kept most of the stock in store for customers. I'm like, bro, you guys. That's why I keep going.
You gotta support them.
I want to support. I support. Let me buy some cards while I'm here, and I also bought those decks.
Next time I sell a bunch of shit, I'm overcharging the fuck out of it. I'm gonna tell people I'm doing it because Jay-Z said it for what they did to the Cold Crush.
Oh, hey, thank you for reminding me. Cole. So another thing to my nerd week, I watched this movie called Freeway from '96.
Like,
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. That's really 90s.
Reese Witherspoon. What's the fucking guy? Kiefer Sutherland, Joaquin Woodbine, Brooke Shields. Really fucking weird movie, but it symbolizes Little Red Riding Hood. But there's a point in there because Reese Witherspoon's dating Joaquin Woodbine. And the detective, who's black.
That's evil Dave Chappelle, right?
Yes.
Make sure I had the right guy.
I've never heard of that before. I've never heard that. But you're right.
This is Bizarro Dave Chappelle.
Yo.
Yes, that is correct. But,
I'm kind of mind blown right now. Tell me the truth.
the detective, one of the detectives, he's black. And he goes, looking through her shit, he goes, "Oh, she's a coal burner." And the white cop goes, "What?" She dates black guys.
A coal burner. I like that shit.
And I was like, so immediately,
I'm uncomfortable.
I mean,
immediately my wife, she's at work, so I text my wife. I was like, "Hey, you know what you are?"
You know what you are.
That was all I had to
that's
offer.
fucked up, but I like.
No, that's great.
That's
Yeah,
like
I
the
was
coolest,
confused because I
racist
heard
shit
it.
I've ever heard.
When I heard it, I was like, I'm not supposed to be okay with this, but it kind of works. It was the black cop that said it, so I was like, all right, you know what?
Yeah, okay, it's okay then. It's good.
There was enough passes in there. Like,
yeah.
If it was the white cop, I was like, fuck this movie.
I'm gonna start using that shit. Go ahead.
No, that's good. Put some Asian shit in there.
Well, it's funny, you know, my kids, with Jana specifically, like talks about like white kids at her school that say the N-word.
Oh,
like casually.
Wow.
And she was
Still?
like,
I thought it was.
and she was like, and she's like, they say that like, you know, it'll be like this other kid who's a black kid gave them a pass. And I say to her, and I was like, well, let me tell you something. That other kid doesn't have the right to fucking give a pass. It's not his pass to give.
No,
he gonna get the other kid fucked up.
Yeah. You know.
As far as I know, it's up to Evan.
Hey, that never came across my road desk. I tell you that much. I bet all that shit.
The buck stops there, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah. So now I have 9 decks that I've never played with because I don't play cards in real life, even though I would.
I feel like, you know. It was born in my heart. Just that accent thing, you know, just in case.
Yeah. So I will. I think I might bring some decks to Vegas next month when I'm going.
Plenty of decks in Vegas.
Yeah.
Lots of decks in Vegas. Are you going to? You're going to Vegas?
Yeah, for like a few days.
I don't even know if I knew that.
It was on the calendar I sent you.
I thought you were on vacation, but I didn't see that it said Vegas on it.
Did it not? Okay, maybe.
But I could have.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going. And meet some friends. IRL friends that are also Twitch friends.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
I don't gamble, I don't drink. We're gonna go play Magic, and eat.
Why else would you go to Vegas?
Well, we're gonna watch Magic show and ride some roller coasters.
It's a super social area, Joe. It's very busy with people.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna go back to the hotel room and play Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
Oh, you're playing in the hotel room. It's not like an event.
No.
Okay.
I
Sounds
thought it was like a
kind of
table in a
trip.
casino
No,
where you
that
play
was
Magic.
that was last week actually. That was Magic 30. That was last week.
Give me 10 on Wizard.
What if though?
I'm waiting
What
for it.
if?
When you saw the joke, I can't wait till they get an Uno table in Vegas. Get a spades table in Vegas. I'd be all
But
about it.
Spades, though. Spades is
That would be amazing.
that
They
would
could
be.
clean up too.
I'm still gonna smack you around with.
Yo, I can't wait, man. I really can't wait.
Yeah,
I know
I'm looking
Bobby
forward to it.
better. I know he. Otherwise, I'd be like, probably hearts instead of spades.
No, not at all. I don't even know how. I know it's like inverse spades.
It's
like-
yeah.
Exactly.
It's definitely
inverse
unseen with spades.
Yeah, I don't know how to, I've seen it played, but I don't know how to play
I
it.
feel fucked up that like Windows came with hearts and didn't came with spades.
Yeah, spades is a super fun game.
It
man.
is. It's
Like,
more fun than hearts.
Yeah, it is.
And it's kind of weird though because spades, it's a historical kind of a black game.
Yes,
but then
yeah.
the name, like
Yeah,
you get it.
the
Like,
name,
it's
yeah,
kind of
a
odd.
little
isn't it?
questionable.
Yeah.
But you know the I'm just gonna skip past that. You know
How many times you want to make Bobby uncomfortable today? Let's keep counting. It's like 4 now.
do you play big little deuces?
You already know I do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm making
man.
sure because some people are like,
So there's a specific deck of cards made for spades, and they have the big joker, all that stuff labeled. Like you don't have to write it.
Right,
on there.
right.
So I'm gonna have to buy that deck.
yeah,
So
whenever you want to get.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, and if I lose, I'm blaming 100% on Laura.
Well, man,
If I lose,
And
you know
we
I'm
may as
blaming
well-
on my
may as well set up a tournament then because I want in.
Yeah,
I would
let's
love
do
it.
it. Let's organize.
Okay,
it. It's on Evan to organize.
I got you.
organize
I
enough
got
shit.
you.
All right, word.
That's true.
and I'm kind of in. So sorry to interrupt, but when you talk about your IKEA spending spree and your rich habits, I like it. I can appreciate it. Only to say that I did the same thing at IKEA this
Oh,
week. Spent
nice.
Dropped like $1,200.
Holy shit! What did you buy?
I can't remember half.
Yo, that's a hard flex. I knew exactly what I bought.
I bought
He
one
doesn't even
Nozzle
know.
Talking,
I can't
one
remember.
Dukatov, one Seekin Sovereign.
It was just a bunch of stuff. Like, I know a table, some chairs, a bunch of stuff, right? But also, there was a few weeks back. My wife and I were going to head to the gym. They happened to be closed for like Employee Appreciation Day. She had been talking the day before about getting a bird or some shit because her friend has a bird. And
I was thinking bird. What is that?
like a bird.
Yeah, like a real bird. In my head, I'm like, he can't be talking about a real
No,
bird.
I really am because she kept me
At
on
first,
the
I
phone.
thought he was talking about a Coke.
We're gonna get a couple of them. But I was like, all right, let's stop at Petco on the way back because the gym's closed. We're gonna just go some time. We go in there. I'm like, okay, you want a parakeet? Whatever. No, $40-$50. She was like, I want that pair. Okay, cool. We'll get a pair. She's like, let's go look at the other Petco down off Ordnance, see if she wanted this particular bird that her friend had. And now she talks to me on the phone the night before. Says, yeah, her husband dropped $1,000 for this bird because such and such. I was like, what a dumbass. I'm going off. I'm like, this dude's a fucking dumbass. I ain't no way I'm paying $1,000 for no bird. Da 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 da. Long story long, we go to the other Petco and they have the exact same bird except it's a male. Her friend has a female. Shit's $700 some dollars, like $650, $700. Of course, you can't buy a bird. They make you buy a cage to go with it. The cage is like $200 some dollars for.
So after you spend $1,000 on a bird.
After I spent $1,200 on a bird, and I said, you know what? I need to go have a drink with Katie's husband because I understand now.
And you need to breed those birds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Make them fuck and sell it.
that was my thought. I was like,
profit.
And we're
Sell
going to
eggs.
look into it because that's what her friend said. We could probably breed them because they go for $600 on a low end a pop, and this bird's only like a few months old.
So now you got what type of bird is it?
It's a green cheek conure.
So you got one of those, and you got a husky.
Yes,
You have the whitest pets in America. You know?
bro. You ain't never lied, man. Look. I do that on purpose. You know my children's names. You know my name. I want the whole house to look good on paper.
You got to confuse them on,
You gotta
you
confuse them.
submit
On the applications.
When they serve that search warrant, I want them to see what the fuck is this?
I can't get away with that. They see Lut and it's like, buck 'em. What?
Going hot, guys.
I got khakis.
I want them to think twice when they come into my house. Like,
He's coming right for us.
Oh fuck! Oh no, that's not good. That's not good.
wake it up. But yes, I got a very much living a suburban lifestyle.
Yeah, I love it. I
We
love
got
it.
a bird now, and I thought about you.
Yeah, bro, we're just dropping money.
Yeah.
but to be
But you
fair,
have a
I don't
stage
do
in
this
your
all the
life.
time. I don't do this all the time. It's not like every fucking other
Exactly.
week I drop a fucking $1,000. It's just
I looked at IKEA the other day. I didn't buy nothing. I just looked. It was like, yo, detox went up.
they did
I'm
went
out.
up. They're like almost
did.
$100 now.
They used to be what, $60?
60,
It
yeah.
was 60. And I was like,
But there are
fuck
upgrades,
this.
but not $40 worth of upgrades.
Yeah, eat a dick.
They got upgrades to them now.
Like, this is more. They're better quality.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I
always
got rid
change.
of all mine. That's why I was wondering.
You gonna replace them?
I did, and there's a different kind of cabinet. I think I showed Bobby a picture of it a couple months ago. That they're lighter because I got tired of moving. The detox can be heavy.
They can, and also because they're all glass, you got to be real careful.
Yeah, and so
and it's tempered glass.
Getting older and shit like that, man. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go for something a little lighter. So I'll show you a picture of it. It's comparable.
Is
it's
IKEA also? Yeah, IKEA sells. I think they
Rudster, something like that.
I think
I know what you're talking about. I got one.
that does the numbers on IKEA and probably noticed like, why are we selling so many fucking decals? Well, I don't understand. Of all the things we sell, these little fucking things, thousands of them are moving.
They're trying to get my collection critique videos banned, shadow banned.
And then let's slowly increase the price. People are still buying them. All right, and then now with like fucking a lot of different display case options in IKEA when they didn't used to.
Yeah.
I still miss the one thing that they continue. Usually they replace things, right?
Right.
But they have not replaced this like terrarium like thing.
That coffee table thing. Those are fucking
like that,
badass.
but like it was a big square one that you can fit like a Hot Toys Batmobile in there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell those anymore.
No,
they
don't sell that one either. The one that I have, like,
yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody petition IKEA.
But you remember that we had a ton of issues with them. Were you
Yep.
here? You know,
Yep.
the frames were all bent and shit. I'm guessing that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, you should own stock in them by this point. So.
I own stock in forms in Detox.
All the shit in here is IKEA, except for this table.
And our houses are full of IKEA.
And that cabinet that Detolf is sitting on, and this cabinet that this Detolf is sitting on, everything else in here is IKEA.
Yeah. Vestas. I have like, we both have like 20 Billies.
Yeah.
We know them by name. I know where when I go, I don't have to actually go to IKEA. I don't have to like look through the showcase. I know where they are in the fucking aisles.
Yeah. That's just sometimes like speaking in code. It's like, oh, just grab yourself a Billy, a Mojo, and a Detolf. You should probably be all right.
yeah. Get the double wide Vestas. You get three Detolfs on there.
Yeah, you get 3 Detolfs on there. You get a Calyx if you need it, and then grab a Mojo and be out.
Yep. IKEA people. Are we in a cult?
Yeah, kind of.
It basically is what it is.
Cults are okay.
Oh shit! I have not seen those.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I've seen the smaller one. I didn't know they make the big one.
Yeah, I got both.
They used to have one where the legs flare out, and I hated those because you can't fucking.
Yeah, no, it's not.
They stopped making.
I had that one with the legs flared out. I got rid of it. I couldn't handle it. Like, and I had to kind of pardon me, my tryptochan in it, and I was like, I can't. I just can't. I showed Robert D a picture of it, and he just started laughing, and I was like, I got to get this the fuck out of here.
You can't have Robert D laughing. I just had that thought though. Mm-hmm. Imagine you're a bird, right? You get to fly. It's amazing.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Someone captures you, clips your wings, puts you in a cage, and then they take you to this other place where there's no other birds except for this one. It's like, now y'all fucking make babies. Imagine how that feels.
What's that sound like?
Me.
So we're all going to see Wakanda forever.
It's like because we're talking about you getting a bird and then your friend have a female bird and then like you gotta make them fuck and then
somebody bought a black manta and stuff like that. It's crazy.
You don't know if that's an attractive bird. Like,
I know
they be ugly as fuck to the other bird, but like no, you fucking him. You fucking him.
I keep bringing it up. It's like that the Robin Williams bit where he was talking about pandas that like they're unfucking themselves out of existence, and like they're doing it so well that we even will put pandas together into a room and be like, go fuck and make more pandas. We're almost out of pandas, and they're like, oh, I never fuck her. that's ugly panda. You panda, you know, that's no good panda. I want to fuck her with koala dick.
Oh shit! Fuck. Did y'all talk about Henry Cavill not being Witcher last week?
Yes, but you're welcome to chime in.
No, I'm just
we actually said
it's funny. My initial reaction was like fucking DC, which I'm wrong. I think I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that because I was like because he's going back to being Superman, which is great for him and great for the fans.
Maybe.
Everybody loves him as Superman, but like I prefer him as the Witcher and the Witcher. But it sounds more like creative differences. Where Netflix is fucking this franchise just like they're fucking Cowboy Bebop and any other thing that they get their hands. Death Note.
Yeah.
Like, why? You're doing good. You're doing the story that was written and it was doing well.
And it was interesting.
Why are you fucking it up?
Because he was actually like a fan of the source material.
Yes, that's. I mean, he's a big nerd. He's a custodian's fucking collector.
He's super into 40K.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like, bro, Netflix, why? Like, I try to fucking stand up for you sometimes, Netflix, but like you're on thin line.
There's like a new pay tier or some shit. I just saw something.
I bet.
And I was like, because now they're adding ads.
Yeah.
And I was like,
got an email about the price or something like that.
I mean, like, they're gonna be on chopping block soon for me, and I've been a stand.
Trying, but
yeah,
my
I've been a Netflix
wife was like, "Well, me and Sophie watch." I was like, "Okay."
Well, I found a new pay tier. It's $0. You just cancel it.
Yeah,
it's great.
But the thing
like
is, they have shows I like on there, but like,
I mean, me too.
I can go back to my pirating ways.
Well, and also with me, like, if
I mean, I did this week.
I told Laura, like,
exactly. Like, I'm willing to pay you. Be good.
I told Laura, it's not like there's a wealth of content that's just like you can't live without it. I was like, why don't we just do it? Like, we'll get in the habit of like, okay, rotate November, December every year. We'll get Netflix, and then we'll cancel January, and we'll just catch up on all the Netflix shit.
I like that.
For 2 months and be out.
We did that with Stars and Showtime. It's like we'll rotate through. And
Showtime's a lot of good shit too.
And that's what I was like. Well, it's got a lot of good shit, but then like 3 months in, I'm like, I don't continue to watch it. So
I always forget to use it. You know why? Because I have it through Prime. Like I bought it through Prime, and I always forget to like
you even have it.
Right,
that I even have it.
It's piggybacked on, so you might as well keep it.
Yeah.
I use my PS4 at some point PS5 maybe, but PS4 for all my media. That's what's plugged into my TV. So like I just have all the apps. When you go to it shows me everything I have, so it helps.
So I have it similar through the Apple TV, but like in order to get to Showtime, I got to go into Amazon.
Yeah, see, that's the difference.
And that's
ours is separate.
And that's, but like I don't. So like I can put Showtime up there separate, but I can't get into it from that because
that's fucked up.
Because it's through Amazon that I
weird.
have a Showtime account.
I wonder if that's the Apple TV problem or Showtime's
It's a
problem.
Showtime. It's a deal they cut with Amazon.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Stars.
on our Prime. Because we have a Fire Stick, and it just comes right. It's there up top, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And you don't forget that you have it, and then it also has like a channel. Like you'll scroll down, and it'll show you what's on live right now, and all these other shits. So,
yeah, like I pirated. I mean, I fired in my torrent this past week since a long time ago because like there's this one movie that's really fucking almost no footprint online. It's a decent movie. It's called White. But it's a Korean movie. It's a Korean movie.
All right, I'm out.
It's a Korean movie about like Korean horror movie about
Scarlett
like
Johansson
K-pop.
starred?
No, I mean,
You got triggered.
Somebody wrote in because I made that joke last week about if they got Ben Kingsley to play Mahatma Gandhi now they would just cut his fucking head off.
yes.
But then somebody wrote in and was like, he actually is half Indian, so like maybe they just cut half his head off.
so they always justify. Oh, James Franco's got some Cuban in him. He should play Castro.
Yeah, but nobody fucking skips a beat when they got fucking Andy Garcia playing Italian roles. Nobody skips a beat.
It's me.
Garcia
Mario.
in Italian.
Gabagoo.
Back then, nowadays they pitch a fit. I'm sure.
We'll see.
Somebody had this like skeleton like wrapped in like lunch meat and it said, "Oh, here goes the gabagoo."
Oh my god. It's past Halloween.
It's always Halloween for me.
But this movie was hard to find. Like no, it's not streaming anywhere, paid for or otherwise. You can't rent it. It's just not anywhere. And so and I went find my torrent, and there was like only 2 seeds, which is crazy because it's a decent movie. I guess it's more niche. It's a Korean horror movie, but you can usually find them, and it's not like a real shitty movie. And we found a bunch of our chat and Discord hasn't watched it, so because we do movie night every Tuesday. So I found my torrent, and I was like, well, I'm here. Doesn't make me look for this shit. Because I used to pirate every fucking thing, but now they're making a little more money. I'm like, let me throw some subscriptions out. But if things continue to trend to which streaming becomes a new cable, I'm out. Yeah. Because the reason I got rid of cable and started pirating was cable. Right. I don't want fucking commercials. I don't want 1,000 channels of shit I don't want to watch.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. I hear you.
And Netflix was great for a long time. Maybe not now. I get it. But for the longest time, and when they were the only one that had great content.
I agree.
On demand, right? But now they're starting to add commercials, raise the price, and gonna start rotating out content I want or fucking a franchise I actively love.
Yeah, the hill I'll die on with Netflix is where Netflix went wrong was creating their own content. That's when shit started to suck.
I like a lot of Netflix originals.
I'm not saying that all of them are bad. I'm saying that is the point where their trajectory changed for me. Because once they made some good ones and they were like, oh shit, people like this too. We could probably just make anything, guys.
Well, then you got people like Mark Wahlberg who will sign up for anything, and he's in like random Netflix movies. And I just talked to somebody yesterday. I was like, Mark Wahlberg's in this? I was like, yeah, that dude just signs his name to anything.
Samuel Jackson too.
Sam Jackson.
Rock.
There's another.
Rock doesn't turn down films,
dude. But you know
they're
what?
all classics.
So
though.
you know what?
So
I heard something about The Rock recently. Do you know that like
are you gonna talk shit?
Yeah, I am because fuck him. But like, do you know that like in his contract, he won't like if they're like, hey, we want you to play Black Adam. In The Rock's paperwork, there's like stipulations like he cannot lose a fight. He cannot like.
I'm aware of this,
dude.
What's wrong with that?
Fuck you.
What's wrong with that?
Because you're limiting the creativity.
No.
I mean, as you're selective about the roles you want to play. They don't have to rewrite their script for you. They can get some another actor. But if
No,
they
I
want
agree.
you,
You're right.
then that's on them.
I blame both. I blame both.
A lot of people have that
it's
in
their
their
fault for
contracts,
hiring
though.
him, but his stance on that is shitty also to me.
Yeah, a lot of people have that kind of stipulation in certain contracts. Vin Diesel has one.
Oh,
where
surprise!
Yeah, I know, right? He's
All
just
the
one that
great- all
came
the
out.
greats.
But where they can't
all
lose
the
fights
greats.
or they can't look weak and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's funny because The Rock has this wrestling background, and you know that he pulls a Hulk Hogan basically. I can't lose clean to anybody or something like that. Or I can't look weak like a Triple H. I can't look weak to this guy. So it's the same kind of language and mindset in the Hollywood thing because they feel like it'll diminish their market value or you don't want to be able to put a video package together of this dude getting his ass whooped.
And we don't know
I would love
what
to.
other actors have that we don't really talk about.
Sure, but like take like Christian Bale for instance, because his ass beat in Dark Knight Rises. It makes the character stronger.
Well, he didn't look like Dwayne Johnson either.
No, he's more handsome.
Hey, Tom Hardy's been going to jiu-jitsu tournaments and kicking people's asses.
It's true.
Has he really?
He has.
Yeah,
He was no
he's
great.
going out there just choking people out. Like,
Sounds like something he would do.
motherfuckers are looking across the mat like, dude, that guy looks like Bane.
That's what's happening right there.
I think that's Bane. Let's go see. Oh shit.
He should wear the coat to one of his tournaments.
Yo, and the mask, the whole fucking thing.
One of my favorite lines in that shit is still when they're getting ready. She's getting ready. Talia's getting ready to walk away from it all, and she's like, I want him alive because I want you to see the fire. I want you to feel the fire, and like walks out of the thing, and then Bane's like, we'll both know I have to kill you now. I love that. You'll just have to imagine the fire.
Yes, that's a great fucking
That was a
scene.
good one.
It's so
The
good.
best line. Yeah.
What else I fucking watched? Shudder. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here, so like Shudder was another
Makes me shudder.
Asian horror. It's not Asian actually. It's white people horror movie that takes place in Japan. But it's really good. It's one of our favorite, like, of the genre. SHUTTR, like of a camera.
Yeah.
Camera shot.
But yeah, so if you guys, any of your horror friends out there, if you haven't seen Shudder.
Wait, that's on. Oh no, the movie.
It's on. Yeah, the movie. Shudder's on. It's streaming somewhere.
Because I was looking for
streamed
it a couple months back.
Yeah, one of the services have it because we were watching it. Fucking started watching Alone last night because of Chris's recommendation.
With company.
With company, yes.
Nice. Way to turn the tables on it.
Yeah, fuck. I'm here with my lady watching y'all being alone. No, it's the survival show where like they just drop you off in whatever. Every season is a different location. They drop 10 people off at really separate locations, and then they have to like live as long as they can before they tap out.
Lord of the Flies type shit.
Yeah, but it's by themselves, so they have to like build their own house, like hunt their own food. Like the one guy tapped 6 days in because like
Pussy.
he's an idiot. That too. I don't know if he told the producer he has a pre-existing heart condition.
No kidding.
Yeah, he had a heart attack a few years ago.
I need medication.
He said like he was like I am like
Airdrop it.
40%
Hunger
heart like function or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing out here?
Why are you doing this to
It's 6
yourself?
days in, he built a log cabin, which was I was like impressed. But then he didn't catch no fucking food. He didn't eat for 6 days, and it's like my chest hurts. I don't know why. I'm like, bro, please.
Yeah, I wouldn't make it.
But like I would like this is interesting. Just like I'm not into hunting or fishing shows. The idea of living off the land is cool to me. But when I see these people like catch a fish or like shoot a fucking bird, they have arrows. I think that's.
I was
the
gonna say, are they giving any supplies?
They have very little. They are allowed to bring I think 8 items. There's a plethora of things to choose from. You can pick
Cell
8.
phone.
Yeah,
Like,
they have the rescue phone. They call it.
Cell phone and bank card.
Bezos is gonna find me. I'll tell you that now.
But yeah, when I see them catch a fucking fish after 3 days of not eating meat, I get excited for them. Like, I'm really enjoying the show.
What's that on?
It's on Netflix. Well, season 9, the new season, I think it's the new season on Netflix. The rest of them are on Hulu, I think. Wherever History Channel stuff is.
Okay.
Like Fortune Fire stuff.
Gotcha.
Wow.
It's on one of them. But it's really fucking cool to watch because they're really alone. It's not like the Bear Grylls shit. Because when this guy fucking tapped out and called, like, my chest hurts, it was a while before they got to him. They had to take a boat.
Really?
And then when they got to the boat, then the copter came. They were like in Alaska where there's like bad storms and shit happening. I'm like, dude, this is
Chest hurts. It's funny to me.
and because they all I think they give in a bunch of cameras and they just set them up to film themselves. And when they see something, and this bears, there was a fucking mountain lion like fucking 30 yards away from this one guy's camp.
I'm gonna ask the obvious question.
Yeah,
What was the demographic of the participants?
I think it's mostly white. I think one of the guy is brown. I'm not sure what he is.
Hey, man.
But there was no black people
It's
yet.
that category called.
But I'm only on
look what
episode
these
3.
Over adventurous white people want to do now.
I'm only on episode 3.
Category on Netflix.
I like the one of the brown guy. He went there like super heavy. I was like, that's smart. Some of the people went there lean. I'm
I
like,
see what
bro,
you're saying.
you're already lean.
He can live off something.
Yeah, something. But like he's really YOLO though. Like he just fucking swam across this like river in Alaska to go to the other side just to check it out, find nothing. I had to swim back. Bro, you I don't know if you're gonna last. Yeah, but I'm only on episode 3 and I'm fucking loving it. New genre of show because I don't usually like reality show, but this doesn't seem produced at all. It's just dudes with cameras. Oh, ladies too. Doing surprisingly well. One lady, like
titties
made a ditch house. She dug a whole house out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing at?
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love it. This is number 6.
Seems
I think
about
this is most times Bobby has been uncomfortable on this show since its inception. So yeah, I haven't finished it, but I recommend it if it sounds like something you're
I'm gonna
interested.
have to check that out. I like that.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's very impressive. People, because most of us in the modern day, if you drop us off, even not in fucking Alaska, drop us off in the woods where we can't get to nobody. How many days do you think you can live? I don't think I can last more than a week, probably.
Yeah.
Like I'll probably drink some shit or eat some shit that wasn't supposed to. Just fucking get mauled by a fucking bear, whatever.
A moose,
rhino.
Give me some prep time. I need some prep time. Yeah.
Need some prep. Yeah, these guys are just. They have most of them have a bow. They ain't got no fucking knives or nothing. They have a reel of fishing wire with no lure, and I think they have hooks, and they make their own lure out of like fucking wildflowers they find or some shit like that. It's fucking cool. I'm impressed. So yeah, thanks for the recommend.
A
Chris.
bag of 10 lighters.
I think a striker. I think a striker is something they could bring, but none of them. I think none of them so far has chosen it because they can all just fucking start fires. Just
Oh,
Nah.
so
drop
that's just
them out
what
in the
white
middle of the
people
woods and
built
be
in
like,
with.
here's a fire.
No thanks. I'm gonna take that lighter.
Yeah.
Hey, give me the lighter.
It's just fucking impressive to me that like, and even though it shouldn't be because we're like fucking animals and we've always lived outside before we discovered houses, right? Because that's just how we all lived before we cooked. But now I'm an indoor cat and I like being indoor. I always tell people, why don't you want to go out? Why don't you want to hike? Look, we fucking invented the indoors because outdoors suck. If outdoor was so great, we wouldn't fucking invent indoors, all right?
Yeah.
People be paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to go camping. It's like, dude, you can do that shit for free.
Yeah, just go outside.
Hey,
Yeah, there's tents. There's tents on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
$2.95. You'll see some. Ask them how it is.
You know? They're camping
It counts.
for free.
They're scavenging.
Is that all you got, Joe? Or you got more?
Just one more.
right.
Cabin of Curiosity is a show I watch on Netflix. It took me a second, but I see what you did there. It's kind of fucked up, but okay. We're here now. We're living it. It's 8 episodes. Each episodes are individual stories by different directors. Show made by Guillermo del Toro. He did the first episode. They range.
That's what it is.
They range from really good to okay, but most of them are at least good. And I recommend it if you like. I've been into anthologies lately, just like shorter. I think I'm gonna start 2-sentence horror stories. They look like the 20 minutes. You should watch that.
They hit or miss.
They're hit or miss also. That's the thing with the anthology. Like,
Yeah.
You should watch
the
that,
good ones that are really good that makes up for the bad ones.
You should watch that Tales of the Jedi. That's like all up now. It's like
it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, like 8 episodes. They're like 15 minutes long, cartoon shorts, mostly dealing around the Clone Wars era.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't know that. I will get into Chris.
Yeah,
Krista loves that shit too.
I did watch that last week.
That shit's good.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It's real good.
Sophie watched it with me. She was like,
That's
I wanna watch
2
more.
strong Star Wars releases back to back. I just want to go out on a limb and say that.
Don't be too hopeful.
I know. I'm trying not to be, but
Don't
God
be
bless.
rebellion.
Have you heard that there's rumors of them picking up episode 10 now?
Who? What?
Like it's 20. The rumor. It's like people are reporting it like it's fact. It's not. But there's a rumor that 2025 is picking up episode 10 and bringing a lot of the sequel trilogy cast back in.
Somehow Palpatine is back.
Probably. It'd be like, surprise.
It's possible.
Why didn't you take my name? it's the Palp, isn't it? It doesn't roll off the tongue. But like, I think that if they could Clone Wars it, like
They have the ability to make good content.
I think
Just
if they pick up these characters and like kind of explain away the problems in 3 more movies, you know what I mean? Like Clone
Three
Wars
movies to fix the last 2 movies.
Yeah, like Clone Wars took 6 series to fix 1 movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's possible.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's possible.
Then not everything can be. Everything has the ability, with the exception of death, and even that,
Yeah.
somehow. To be
Ghosts. It's Ghosts in Star Wars.
undone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But
They did it with fucking not Anakin, the other guy, fucking Ben. He died in the end of the movie, right?
Quadaneros, we never found out. that one pod racer pilot. That's
Oh yeah. Fucking Kylo Ren. He died at the end.
Yeah.
But like he could come back.
yeah, bring him back. Well, fuck it.
no, they didn't even wait a movie.
Did it burn his body?
None of it matters anymore, Joe.
Did it burn his body? It didn't burn his body. right?
Somehow, Ben
Exactly.
Solo returned.
Yeah, with the soul of Palpatine.
No, please not.
Please. Oh no, I just gave them a bad idea. Oh no. Fuck. I usually try to give good ideas here. That's terrible.
What a lovely pit.
I mean, also what he was trying to do.
threw you into it.
That was his goal, right? To begin with, right? To get a new body, whatever.
Yeah.
What if somehow
And-
Palpatine's soul found its way into Ben's body?
And new troops to command.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
happened?
That is gross. And last note is Hasbro stock is down.
Yeah. They're in trouble.
I love to see, but I always hate to see. Because when I shit on something, I always say vote with your wallet. It's not a cancel culture thing. Like, it can be if they're bad enough. It's for me, it's not like, fuck them, bankrupt them. It's not, I'm like, teach them a lesson.
Right.
Give them a redemption arc because I love that the franchises they have. I don't want them to fucking bankrupt and I don't have any magic anymore.
Well, like,
Or back series, wherever the fuck you
by
like.
the time that this comes out, the uncut version of Dummies will be up. But Robert makes a good point about he's like, well, no, he's like now that they get into like $25 to $80, they're outpricing the. I know this is I not all of you are this, okay? I'm not. If you don't think I'm talking about you, then I'm not, okay?
But you are, then you are.
But yeah, but if you think you might be talking about me, then I might be. But like you might be outpricing the basement dweller, that considers going to Target, going into the wild.
Yeah.
My wife.
I'm uncomfortable.
That's just the name of the show now. Bobby's uncomfortable.
Because I was gonna say I thought that was a cave. I learned it from Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
Does that excuse ever work anywhere?
Why y'all bringing me into this?
Remember when Brutus used to say, I loved Ice Cube when he hated the white man. It's just when he became O'Shea Jackson that I had a problem with him. Anyway. All right, so my turn.
That's it.
Mine's very short. For one, I remember we were talking about making a Nerd Rage movie.
Yes.
The other thing. So I had an idea come to me last night. All right, so it's a comedy.
It has to be.
It has to.
It's a rom-com, right? So
I'm
Gyllenhaal.
like thinking of who?
So
Rachel McAdams.
So I
Yes.
I play. We're gonna just keep the names straight, so to speak, just so that you don't confuse who the people are, right?
Okay.
So I play Bobby, right, and I work in an outdoor capacity, like landscaping or something like that.
Okay.
You are my trusted coworker. We've worked together for years. You're my confidant. I can tell you things, et cetera, et cetera. I confide in you.
Yep. The Asians are safe, so I've heard.
Yeah. So Chris is my friend that I used to have, but he moved away, and now he's recently moved back. I'm married to Kelly. Okay.
Oh.
And Kelly plays my wife.
Yeah.
And Chris is kind of like, I feel like I confide in you about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's kind of being smooth with my wife. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I feel like my wife is picking up on some of his vibes. But my wife and I have had problems in our intimacy. Right? So finally it comes down to I let Chris fuck my wife.
Hold up.
And
That's a big leap. That's a huge leap.
Cucking is a normal thing now. It's 2023.
And the movie's called Cuck.
Is there an ending to this? Oh,
what is this?
Well,
Well,
it's how that affects it's how that event will take place like in the middle of the movie, and then it's how that event affects my relationship with him and her.
okay.
know?
I'm interested. It could be a good fucking movie.
Yeah,
You could even start with well, we wouldn't, I guess, do a sex scene. That would be weird. I guess it wouldn't be because it's actually
they're
Pinkerton.
actually married.
We'll start with
I thought about this.
Hey, Pinkerton, we're just gonna start with you and your wife fucking. All right, and then Bobby chiming in. So, well, you see, this is my friend fucking my wife, and it's this.
Well, and it could,
And then record scratch. This is how we get here.
well, and it could turn and like we could play into that. Like my character fucked his girlfriend back when we were like in high school. So there's like a revenge element to it also.
And also fair
you know
is
what I
fair.
mean? Like,
So that's your idea for the...
Yeah.
Is it a sitcom or a movie?
it's a movie.
Okay.
Rom-com.
Movie rom-com. Ain't nothing comedic about that, man.
It will be when you see how like, with the dialogue and stuff. You know,
Now-
and then like because I have there's one scene in mind where like because I'm like in the room when it starts going down, but like
Oh, you there? You're watching?
yes,
Oh,
but like
you in the closet?
but like
Lit?
no, like
just
sitting there.
I
And
see
like
these movies all the time on porn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
and like 10 minutes into it or so, I get uncomfortable. So like I go out and I'm like playing PlayStation, but like you could still hear like the events and so like I pause it. You know, like like it would be real
awkward humor.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like to make that work to be a true rom-com, you need Dante, and he has to at some point say, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, I asked him about it too. All right, so that was that. I watched a movie last night with no special effects per se, and just good acting and a decent story. It's called While We're Young. It was quite good. Ben Stiller, Kylo Ren, and
That's
then
that dude's name from now.
I don't know. It's fucking Kylo
What's
Ren.
his name?
Ben Stiller plays like a professor, and Kylo Ren is a student at the college. They end up kind of becoming friends. Couples become friends. Ben Stiller kind of alienates his like 40 to 50-year-old friends and starts hanging out with like the 20-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
But the Kylo's really just kind of using him to kind of get information to kind of launch his career, and then kind of Ben is kind of left out on it. It's a good little
that's
drama. Like it's a good little movie, good little story. I recommend it. It's
While
on
We're Young.
It's on HBO Max.
Oh sweet,
Of course.
And then the other thing I wanted to say was for the first time maybe in my life, I think so, watched an entire sporting event.
Huh.
So my daughter's been playing softball, right? Her season wrapped up. I went to this bowling. Let me tell you something.
You went bowl?
No, no, of course not. I went to the bowling alley because they had a party there.
Oh.
Like for the end of the season kids, which they didn't do in my day, but they're doing now. And there's one thing I learned that I don't understand the cultural nuances to a bowling alley. I was 100% overdressed.
You didn't have any stains on your clothes at all?
No, none.
Oh man,
You fucked up.
None.
terrible.
Yeah, I was out of place, and it was in Mount Airy, which was even more so out of place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they looked at me like, we don't take kindly. But anyway, so Selena's taking this interest in softball, and it's kind of one of the sports. I mean, I played baseball as a kid, so it's like one of the sports that I kind of know a little bit about and can help her with. And like we go to the ball field, and
good.
Yeah, it's been doing stuff. It's been good for her and I. It's been good for her. It's been good overall. But like she was like, can we watch people play? And I was like, I think the World Series is like now.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, can we watch that? And I was like, sure. I was like, does anybody, not want to watch it to like the rest of the family? And everybody's kind of like, no, let's watch it. And we like watched the World Series twice.
Like 9 innings?
No, yeah, 9 innings. We watched. Well,
how many hours is that?
the kids tapped out.
Okay.
They like literally fell asleep. But like, we watched like on 2 different nights. We like watched like 4 or 5 innings as like a family, and like we were rooting for the Phillies just because they're closer, but we didn't really care who won.
Yeah.
You know. But it was interesting for me because content is so bad now that like I actually enjoyed it. Like
you like, enjoy watching?
Yeah, let me tell you why. It was like I had an epiphany. Like I was like, wow, I can't be, because I don't care about the Phillies. I don't care about the Astros. I don't think I would care necessarily about any. I'd probably lean towards the Orioles, but I don't think I would actually give a fuck one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, I'm watching something that I'm enjoying, and I literally cannot be disappointed by the outcome.
It's because you're not
feeling.
rooting for any teams. Partly.
And I was like, what an amazing experience. You know, it's not like everything else that I watch in my life where at the end of it, I'm like, fuck all, burn it. Burn it. You know, I'm like, wow, I'm just sitting here. Everybody's kind of enjoying it. Everybody's involved. Like one day it actually like surprised me. Like Jana went to work. She's working now.
No kidding.
Yeah. At a little restaurant.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know.
She brought home any food or?
No, she hasn't brought home any food or cool shit. She did get like a hoodie out of it.
Oh, nice.
And she wears it like sometimes like on her like off time. I'm like, oh, you could be one of them, aren't you? But anyway, like she came home and she texted us and she said she was having a rough night at work apparently, and she was like, all I want to do is get home and watch baseball with the family. And I was like, that's like a fucking weird text.
Yeah,
like just it's fucking like she doesn't give a fuck about sports. Like none of us give a fuck about sports except now Selena. But like we all like thoroughly enjoyed it, and like I was watching something that I was enjoying, and they couldn't hurt me, Joe. they couldn't hurt me, which was nice.
Strange. This is such a normal thing that's like so outside the norm for us, most of us at this table, I assume.
Yeah.
But I guess you can understand why sports is generically always on anywhere you go, because it is, I guess.
You turn your brain off sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just neutral unless you're really fucking rooting for a team.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people are not neutral. Do you know what I mean? Like they're all hooting and hollering, Joe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, as you were talking about, like you didn't really care one way or the other. I'm thinking about just when I go to Facebook, in those moments when I'm just that bored, it comes up like being in Baltimore, Ravens this or Orioles that, and I got this one friend specifically. It's like if the Ravens are doing well, he's all right, but if they're not.
He's not okay.
Depression.
Yeah, it's weird that people's entire lives,
it's
like real
emotionally,
life. Yeah,
like
based on
I'm a Michigan fan. I love all the Detroit teams, and they all fucking suck. Well, Michigan's doing all right this year. Go Blue! But it's that weird thing. I had to think to myself, I was like, I'm glad I don't fucking attach myself to it anymore.
That's
like
weird
I like to
me.
watch it. And Sophie even, like, I'll get home on Saturday evening after the Michigan game. She's like, Dad, can we watch the Michigan highlights? Yeah. And that's cool, but it's not about the event. It's about that time.
I can watch highlights anytime.
So we're going to watch, we're going to follow it next year. Like, we're going to watch baseball.
And what do you, I want to ask, what do you guys think about fantasy sports? I guess like the fantasy leagues and stuff like that.
I mean, I wouldn't partake. I don't know, and I'm not knowledgeable enough.
I don't know anything about them either. And the reason I bring it up is because we have some diehard people, who, who are into it. And it's funny. I was working the other day, and somebody was, I guess, a commercial for some superhero movie came on or some shit, right? And they went off and fucking nerd shit, da 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 da. I was like, huh? I was like, why don't you just talk about fantasy teams and stuff like that? I was like, so what's the difference between that and you playing with your imaginary team?
Yeah, same shit.
And he got really defensive. I was like, it
Because
sounds like you're playing make
Dungeons
believe.
and Dragons
Yeah.
for
That's what
sports.
I was like, it sounds like Dungeons and Dragons, like you're playing with make believe people.
is.
I do
Lightning
fantasy
bolt, lightning
football.
bolt.
I mean, the only difference is there's money involved, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
No, you don't have to.
Even still,
You do the shit on Yahoo for
but
free.
he
That's
got
what I
really
do.
offended by it because it's funny how people try to separate
Hypocrites,
these
man.
things. Yeah, I was like, no, you're playing imaginary sport. I was like, he's like, but it's a real game. I was like, but you're not really playing it.
And these people aren't really on the same team.
Yeah.
it's
You know what
pretend.
else? Not to make shit weird, not to make things uncomfortable, but you RSVP that you were coming to my Halloween party.
I'm so sorry.
And then I looked on
I?
to see if you were working, and you 100% were working. And I was like, that motherfucker.
I was.
Probably the auto
sorry about
RSVP.
that.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Hey, I pardon you.
My apologies.
Hey, let's get into some notes real quick.
Yep.
So there's a new Willow trailer. I didn't know it was a series.
With Willow.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
Like,
I did
Will
too.
Smith's-
I thought it was Will. Yo.
So you might say it's a short story. What? What?
No, be comfortable. You be you.
Look, it's just a little tale.
Let me see this shit.
And look, and it looks so good. I think if you were to sign up for Disney Plus, it'd be a small order. Really did like.
It's not that big a deal.
I'm uncomfortable. So anyway. Anyway, still looks amazing.
I thought it was Willow too.
But I thought it was Willow 2.
Yeah.
And I was a little bummed that it's not a movie. That
I
is
mean,
like,
are you though? If it's like movie quality show, you're always talking about you want movie quality
just
shows,
a
bruh.
little bummed.
This is funny.
All right. There's the Avatar 2 trailer. Did anybody catch
Really?
it? Yeah.
I ain't been paying
They're really
attention to
making
shit,
that?
man.
Yeah.
The fucking I have not seen the first one, never will, and I can say
Really?
with 100% confidence it's overrated.
Good for you.
So
I agree with you.
You're right. I don't know why
I
you're
don't have
so passionately against it. I don't like
know
it either.
There's something about that
Blue
movie.
people.
The colonialism.
No, I
colonization.
think it was one of them.
Here we go.
Are you uncomfortable yet? Are you
It is literally dances with wolves with aliens.
yeah,
true.
So it's a premise that's been done, and also like
It's like Fern Gully.
it's
That was my, as soon as I walked out, I said to my wife, I was
It
like,
is Fern
Fern
Gully.
Gully. She was like, have you ever seen Fern Gully?
It's a lot
Yeah,
like it.
There.
I think maybe it's one of the first times when non-nerds, because this is a fucking, to me, it's a nerd movie. Non-nerds coming out saying how good this shit is, like, motherfucker, you
I
bash
agree.
on nerds. You go fuck yourself.
I agree.
And it is very overhyped and
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
So
and this
why-
one doesn't look great
But it's
either.
made a huge amount of money.
But the effects, as you would imagine, look tremendous.
it's par for the course now. It's not impressive anymore.
Yeah, that's all it's about is like the effects. The story is like, oh,
And then there was Christmas Story 2 trailer.
Is that-
Like the full trailer.
Wait, which was Christmas Story 1?
Ralphie,
1980, was it 80s?
you'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
you'll shoot your eye out with the Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
That's
the
a sequel?
Yeah, so it's actually him, like the kid, grown up. He's got a family and all this. And you know what? Looks like good fun.
It ties into the MCU too. He works for Stark Industries.
Does he really?
Yeah.
No.
Look it up.
I believe you. It's because it's on. It's coming on something. It's coming straight to streaming.
I think
If
it
it's
is
Disney Plus, that would make sense.
There. Yeah.
That's crazy.
wow. I love it. I mean, I can't say I love it. I'm
sorry,
skeptical.
I gotta.
Well-
it's not true. That
Okay, I was gonna say. Like,
somebody's gonna call me on my shit.
Nowadays, I would believe it because the fucking Disney got the fucking
however,
fingers
They
and
wouldn't
everything.
call you. They would be
Yeah.
30 fucking comments that I'd have to read through.
I could've
Yeah,
let
that
it
you
ride,
didn't know.
but he was in the MCU. The guy that played Ralph, he was in the MCU. He was in the first Iron Man as well as Spider-Man.
Oh, he was
No
one of the
way.
employees.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
the one that got yelled at about Tony Stark building a suit from a box of scraps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
I mean, A Christmas Story 2 came out in 2012. Just in case y'all want to know.
There's a Christmas Story. I didn't know there was a Christmas
Really?
Story too.
I remember hearing about it, but I was like, I don't care.
What about Violent Night though? I'm more interested in that.
Yeah.
I wanna see
son.
that. Yes.
All right, so
Who's
let
in
me.
that? Who's in Violent Night?
It's
Some
Violence.
scruffy looking dude. Looks like a-
fucking the Hellboy replacement guy
Yeah,
who was
the dude
in
from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know where his, not his face.
Okay, him. Yes.
the key grip was definitely
Phil.
Sergio Morazan. Just the first name that came to my head.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
You need a shrink.
Are you sure?
you need to get this shit analyzed, bro.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike P, or Mike Honcho as we call him, writes in, Yo-Yo Ragers, thinking about what kind of despicable fuck wouldn't like The Empire Strikes Back when it launched in the 80s. I mean, how even, right? Well, I got to thinking, who are the people who have such bad takes these days? And it's the people who read the books, quote unquote. The egomaniacs had expectations of being in the know, going in the theater. Then Empire's plot twist shat all over what they read in Splinter of the Mind's Eye and the like. What? Yeah. This isn't contained to the ringworms, thronies, or doonies, as I thought. Oh, by the way, Billy Fong came up with a great name for Game of Thrones fans, but I feel like thronies is kind of
in Europe right now.
Maybe, but he came to him in a dream, in a vision.
Wow.
And I feel like thronies is kind of already stuck, but he has a better one. Thronely fans.
Holy
Dude, I like that. I like that.
Yo, my man.
It's really good. Okay, so he says, not shitting on anyone's feelings because everyone's feelings are valid, but let's work on doing better as a community, or we're leaving the door open for Nazis to come and slap the books out of our hands and burn them because we're acting like assholes. At least that's what I want to do when I hear someone say the books were better. Fucking dorks.
Yes.
He said this doesn't negate valid criticism because episode 9 objectively sucks, but fucking Empire though, sick balls. So I will say this: the Empire wasn't received extremely well when it came out. I'll never forget, like, Adam and I were getting into it over Last Jedi, one of any fucking day that ended with Y. And I read this review, and he was like, that's exactly it. And I was like, that's a review of Empire Strikes Back. You know?
I remember that.
So Vex writes in, he says, great show, Ragers. I'm glad you like the nerd rage flow. That was a rough copy, and I do mean rough. Sounded a bit muffled at parts, but my face is still swollen from double jaw surgery.
Wow.
Damn.
but get better, my friend. He says, I'll send you a cleaner one later. Also, Bobby, great show on Bobby Boogie Bop, the G Unit versus Murder Inc. My question for the week is, was there ever a time you embarrassed yourself, not in front of loved ones or friends, but in front of strangers? I'm 40 now. When I was 16, I worked at Ross. During the end of the night cleanup, when there are no customers in the store, I was cleaning up the men's department. Just as I was about to pick up a shirt off the floor, as I bent down, I let one out on accident. In my head, I'm like, damn, that's foul. Just as I tried to fan it, another sales associate came over to help me. I didn't notice her and said, what the hell is that smell? So quickly, and to try to cover it up, so I balled up some socks and threw them in the trash bag and told her it was a diaper. Yeah, okay, a diaper. I knew she knew it was me. Bad combo of Taco Bell and Flaming Hot Cheetos.
Jesus.
That was quick thinking, but yeah.
Yeah.
That is quick thinking. I like that.
So, like, I feel like, so I'll tell you just recently, oh, God. I mean, it's not the most terrible thing, but for one, I am I'm not a ripple fart in front of everybody guy. Like, some people are just that way, just like, oh, funny. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm a gentleman about my shit. I'm gonna go out of the way. I'm not gonna. That's just how I was brought up. This is how I roll. But I say that to say this: every time I go find a private place to fart, everybody wants to come talk to me. Everybody wants to come fucking talk to me, and it's usually after the deed has been done.
And everyone's coming up to the wafting the smell.
Yeah.
And you're the only one standing there. So
yeah. And I'm like, and usually they're like, oh, did you shit? I'm like, well, yeah, I came all the way to fuck over here by myself. You know, like, anyway. But I'll say this: there was a time recently in this neighborhood where I came out of my house and I had to get something from someone in the neighborhood. I was dressed to the nines, just circumstantially, not like I got dressed to go over to get this thing, but I was dressed to the nines. I looked good, I looked sharp, and there was a group of yuppies from the neighborhood, like, standing on a corner talking, and I was like, oh, I know they know I'm not like them. I'm gonna put a little fucking, what did he say in life, like, put a little extra bop in your step, let these country boys know we're not from around here. And I did, and I fucking slipped.
Oh, God.
Like, stepping up on a curb, I misjudged it, and I came up a little short, and I, like, scraped the front of it with my toe and started going down. I was able to catch myself, but I know it was a fucking disaster. And then I just hurried up, got my shit, went back in the house. And
Damn.
yeah, it was awful. It was
Nice.
awful. Anybody else got a story to share?
I mean, yeah,
in front of strangers, or
It don't count in front of strangers because they ain't never gonna see them again.
Fuck them.
I hard to get embarrassed.
Fuck
New beach
strangers.
rules.
Yeah, I don't get embarrassed. I very rarely get embarrassed.
Yeah.
But especially with strangers, it's like I do
Yeah, fuck
something.
'em. Fuck
it's like,
strangers.
fuck you. I can kill you.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think that, but sometimes.
He also wrote in with a picture of a Oreo. That he
Is it a special Oreo?
Well, he says, I remember on an episode Joe talked about Oreos he likes,
Oreos.
and has he tried these?
Let me see.
It's the Snickerdoodle or white fudge covered. So I have the Snickerdoodle.
Oh no, is that new?
I have this. I don't know. I have the Snickerdoodle upstale. Somebody brought it for the Halloween party. I think it was Phil.
seasonal. Yeah.
And
I'm into
I
the.
believe it is from the Great Cookie.
Yeah, dude, that's different.
did laugh.
The only place that's got them is Lexington Market, the burger spot, the burgers cookie joint.
Snickerdoodles?
Yeah.
Oh no, I go to the Great Cookie from like at Security Mall, and there's another one off.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the only people that got them beat
Oh, the only people that got to be
is burgers at Lexington Market.
You know
Yeah.
they just opened up the new one.
I haven't been yet.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I always take my kids down there too. I step over homeless people and get face.
You show them the world, life experience.
So we got a write-in from Waleed.
By the way, I don't agree with the principle of those Oreos, so I'm not going to try them. Based on principle, I'm not going to buy them.
Not during release week. Wakanda forever.
Yeah, those are March Oreos.
So he said, just found out on the weekend that my mother had been scammed for $40, which is around 32 American dollars. Currently in damage control mode and have submitted a police report. My siblings and I are very much like, what the fuck? My mother was pressured to wire amounts as high as $15,000 at a time. Oh wait, 40,000. I'm sorry.
40,000?
I'm sorry.
I was going to say $40.
I was thinking, okay.
You bloody win some, you lose some. You know what I mean?
40, I got you.
No, sorry, I
just got paid.
I missed the K. My mother was pressured to wire amounts as high as $15K at a time. Thankfully, she still has her house, but her retirement savings are gone.
Why?
Damn,
What
dude.
the fuck?
Them Nigerian guys,
That
man, they got to stop.
They smooth.
He says, I'm interested to hear how you guys would handle that strategically, emotionally, if it was your dementing loved one. Dude, I can't even imagine.
No.
I'm getting a case. I'm catching a case.
I would be so angry, and you'd have that's my problem for me is when I have an influx of emotion with no avenue or
Feel
thing to
helpless.
place it upon. Like I struggle. I can't imagine. Dude.
That's a real tough one, though.
I mean, it sounds like it's somewhat rando that you don't even have a place or person or
you don't
face
have
to
an
put to
outlet.
it.
You don't have a totem.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would have to go into usually I just go into solution oriented
I
mode.
should just
At
call
some
Try to
that.
point-
find a way to fix it.
I will win a lottery. And when I win that lottery, I'm going to spend my time trying to infiltrate these scammers.
I don't know who you are.
Fucking all them in the ass.
I mean, the only thing that you could do is look to see if you could hire some investigator or attorney
Yeah.
that could do that kind of legwork. That you have to be able to afford
wonder
that too. And how
if
much
there's,
money
like-
do you dump into that?
You have private people who work in cybersecurity or
Yeah.
work in that field where they can track the
IP.
not
Yeah, but
the
they can get tricky with that shit too, though. The IP
Yeah,
address.
my-
Okay,
IP
is there-
address. That's what it
They
is.
can get tricky with that shit too.
Yeah,
though.
because VPNs
Yeah,
and now
'cause-
Learning.
is there
Sorry,
no
it's process.
like fucking scam protection? Like, cause like fucking,
I don't know.
because we use PayPal like indiscriminately because like, PayPal pays back if we get scammed, right?
Mm.
There's no fucking thing in place
That
because
sucks, man.
because like identity theft and internet crime and shit like that is commonplace. I guess
Yeah.
not everyone gets got, but the practice is normal.
Yeah.
Because like identity theft, the bank will give you your money back. You prove that someone stole your identity or whatever, you get your money back.
Sometimes it takes forever, though.
But I think
Yeah.
the problem with scam is that you actively gave someone money.
You gave permission.
Well,
It's like inviting
also-
a vampire into your house.
Yeah.
A lot of them won't. They'll try to get you to send money in ways that like PayPal fraud protection.
Crypto.
So yeah, they'll get you or gift cards.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they
Send me 100 Apple cards.
The only
Yeah.
reason why they caught it was because the banks froze her accounts for her protection. Like they noticed something. Yeah.
But still, they got away with
A
40K.
lot of
and that's,
fucking money.
It's crazy, man. I do my condolences to the situation. It's so
you can
sad.
find somebody maybe to look into IP addresses and stuff like that and really track it down.
Yeah, some
Even
sort of
in-
cybersecurity, like you were saying,
It's
or
tricky,
attorney.
though.
I would assume
because they
banks-
cloak a lot of it.
Right.
VPNs,
Right.
like Joe was saying.
I also assume like banks and like credit companies have people in place, teams in place for shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, contact
And
them.
they
Scammers
can't
have-
be like abnormal.
They have teams in place to get ahead of the banks, though, too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a fucking shit show.
Then he said, Bobby, hope the message about the Uncut Dummy spouse questions on Patreon wasn't taken as a whinge or complaint. No, not at all. So for those listening or on the Patreon, I put up Dummies Uncut, right? And I have a system where after I post it, I put it in a separate folder. Turns out I didn't put this one in a separate folder, so I thought I hadn't posted it, but I already had. And then I got Eric B hit me up, and Waleed made a comment, and then I like triple checked it, and I was like, "Fuck!" So I'd already posted, so I just took it down and put up another one. No complaints taken. I feel bad that I fucking fucked up. So then Dave writes in, "FYI, gentlemen, great stuff every week. I love it. Not sure when you'll read this. Just wanted to let you know on episode 375, Pooh Snicked, you talked about Ben Kingsley playing Gandhi.
Yes.
Kingsley is part Indian, born
There we go.
Krishna Pandit Banji.
Wow.
If I remember right, his grandmother from his father's side was from the same village as Gandhi, so Kingsley had a
Oh,
connection
wow.
to playing the
Holy
part.
shit. Okay.
That's
well,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Good for
great to
him.
hear.
So they just cut his ear off then.
Like Van Gogh?
Van Gogh. So then Sean W says, "Hey, Nerd Ragers, hope you're all doing well. Speaking to something that came up last episode, I also used to keep all my Transformer accessories in a big plastic bin. I say used to because my storage locker was broken into a couple years back, and that bin was stolen. The thief must have just grabbed whatever thing was closest because they passed up a lot of very expensive toys just to take a box of accessories. At the time, I actually thought it was the best possible outcome for a bad situation. Fast forward to today, I'm getting ready to move from LA to South Carolina. Don't congratulate me, not a happy story. To cut down on stuff I have to lug across the country, I decided to start aggressively selling all the toys that I'd become wishy-washy about, such as my official and third-party masterpieces." And then he says, "Yo, Chris, Chug Thugs represent." I hope you're not one of the basement. I know you're not. He's a pretty clever guy. He says, "And now the loss of accessories really hits because I feel like an idiot with every eBay auction description I write for sale. Fans Toy Slug. His horns are in great shape. For sale, Calvatron with his cannon. This one used to be a parts former, but now he's just a robot. He don't form shit. Battle damage Pharaoh Rex complete except for his head and his hands and his feet." So yeah, that sucks. Ooh, this is a long one. Let's see. This is from Yaz. "Hey guys, maybe Bobby can keep this. Okay. So it was an elaborate thing for me to play up that I actually knew about this anime. I wouldn't have been able to keep it together. It was an elaborate joke. It wouldn't have worked.
That's no shit.
But then he says, just to weigh in on the subject that is House of Dragons, I love the finale as well. I loved how Amon, the one-eyed uncle, lost control of the dragon, which was completely omitted from the book version. Or it's a big-ass dragon, which... Yeah, did you say House of Dragon?
I loved it.
It was fucking great, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I loved it.
Apparently in the book, like, the dragon... He loses control of the dragon. So when it eats... the midsection of the other one is not totally his doing. It's just, I mean, he went, went down that road.
It seems like
for sure.
that's what they went with on this one.
Yeah. But I feel like he wanted to fuck with him. He just didn't realize it was going to be as bad as
He
it
didn't want to
was.
kill him, I don't think.
No, not at all.
He said no. He did say no, I think.
And you see like the wings, like the dragon, because like he bites the whole middle section of the dragon.
Yeah.
So then, like the wings are just like falling.
Separate.
I didn't realize how big he was until...
it's a big
That's a big difference. That's a huge difference.
And then he said, Anne Rice's interview with the vampire, just simply a recommend if you haven't seen it. I'm guessing he means the new one, because we've all seen the
There's a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one.
Series. On AMC Plus.
He says,
I'll never see it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, really?
Andor, it's starting to get good, but it took me 7 episodes to buy into Cassian. And yes, it was that dialogue and his surrogate mother that made me put my phone down and pay more attention, which brings me to my last point. Why the hell is Tales from the Jedi so good? Is it because of the Clone Wars, or is it because it shines some light on a friggin' dark side, or is it because of Ahsoka, or maybe because of it's animated? I don't know. It might just be because of Jimmy Smits. But yeah, it is great. It is great. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it.
I'm sure I'll watch it by the time I come back on next.
He says, anywho, glad Joey loves lore videos, Bobby. He. Hope Chris has finished House of Dragon by now. Let's hope the Ahsoka live action show won't end up like She-Hulk. Yeah. I hope anything doesn't.
I mean, they're on a good track right now, so hopefully you can say that.
At least I have baseball.
Still crying in baseball.
That's true. That's so I don't have to worry about other fans. Ryan, he writes in. I believe this is the Good Minister. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. He says, like Bobby, I hate all the time I spend trying to find out where these shows are streaming from, where I saw streaming from, or where I saw something or saved it on my list without searching Google. I found an app called Just Watch.
Yes, Just Watch.
That pulls from all streaming platforms, sub, rent, or buy. You can even sign in and say which ones you have and only show if it's on. Okay, so that's cool. Even has anime on there, Joe, he says. So yeah, Just Watch. I might get
Just
that.
Watch.
I might get that.
I just use the website because I have enough apps on my phone.
Yeah. Esteban writes in, he says, morning NRR. So I'm 35 and I'm getting older.
Oh, get the fuck out.
Yeah, I know. But that's when it starts. 35 to 36. That's when it starts. That's when I first noticed like certain things, like just like I had to be careful with my back. I had to like my knee would ache a little bit more if I started noticing little
just minute walking wrong.
Yeah, like minute.
It's opposite for me. Like I started being in the best shape of my life around 35.
Well, that may be true.
Because I think it's going to look like a shit for the first 35 years.
But you're more knowledgeable how to take care of yourself.
And you're only comparing it to that. But like the truth is, like scientifically, your body has stopped trying to save itself.
Yeah. It's like your testosterone go down, your bone density go down.
Right.
Like fucking, you're dying. You're actively dying at this point.
It's now working against you. So he said, a few months ago, Bobby mentioned that he can either have the music on or have a conversation while in the car. At the time, I thought that was ridiculous because I talk with people. He said, at the time, I thought that was ridiculous because I talk with people all the time in the car with the music low. Well, last Friday, my wife and I went out for drinks with my sister-in-law at a tiki bar we like. It's the one outside Disneyland, surprising, I know. Well, my sister-in-law drove us there, and I sat in the back. My wife and her sister blasted music loudly and carried on a loud conversation. I felt like vomiting the whole time. Trying to participate and enjoy the music was impossible, and I fought my hardest to not ruin the mood. At that moment, I realized I'm getting old. This kind of thing never bothered me, and now I couldn't wait to get out of the car. Do y'all remember these getting old moments? So, like, I don't know if I remember specific moments, but, like, I'm just going to go head to toe on me, right? So I lost my hair at 25. I am now beginning to lose my vision. I have 20/20 vision, but, like, shit that I would be able to, like, for instance, like, those comic books, the Dynamite logo on the boys' second to last shelf from the bottom. Like, I know that they're Dynamite, but I can't make out the letters on the spine of the book anymore, where a year ago I probably could. All right, moving. I've ever since COVID, I feel like I get this fucking constant thing in my throat, so to speak, that I got to clear. I have left shoulder pain here and there consistently. I think both of my thumbs have arthritis. I'm pretty sure.
It's all the Transformers.
I think it's probably all the drawing, painting, and all that shit over the years would be my guess. And the fact that I have hyper range thumbs.
Stop showing that off.
Stop showing it off. I know. So I have a herniated disc that I have to be mindful of. It's gotten better since I've slimmed down a bit and also done like core strengthening over the past 3 years. I haven't had like any real significant issue with it, but it's there. It never completely goes away.
No, once you've done this. Yeah.
I have left knee pain pretty much consistently I fell on the garage floor one time because somebody had a big ass bag sitting out there with all their shit in it sitting in the middle, and I was carrying my stuff and I couldn't see and I tripped over it. Clawed. It was
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if my feet are generally fine, but if I walk without shoes on like hardwood floors for too long, the next morning it will remind me that I should be wearing shoes on hardwood surfaces.
Interesting.
Feet
I didn't know that thing.
That's everything. That's head to toe.
Don't know the difference.
Dick is still working good.
Yeah.
Love that. Love to hear it.
Yeah, that's all I really need.
I'm batting 1,000.
Yeah.
The old fashioned way. Every time.
I never had issues.
Yeah. Knock on fucking wood. Knock on my wood.
make sure it's still there.
And that, as far as I know, I'm not on any medications. So, like, I'm grateful for that, especially because I live like a fucking train wreck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to finish this and I'm going to go have a fucking Oreo cookie, you know, just because we talked about it.
Regular one?
And I have a fucking vape and drink like a fucking fish, you know, because
don't eat that in front of it.
Because
Wait till he leaves.
Because I'm not allowed to do decent. Because I'm not allowed to do.
Triggered.
I'm not allowed to do decent fucking drugs with my job.
I mean, they just legalized. Well, I guess it's not to like next July or some shit.
You would have to change
July
a lot.
Yeah, a lot more has to change in the mopping industry, unfortunately. But anyway, that's all me. For you guys?
Me, was a couple years ago when this fucking kid cut across my lawn. I got really fucking mad. I don't know what neighborhood kid it is. I got fucking pissed. And I don't know, and I'm so pissed about it right now. And that's unreasonable because I always don't care about the outside because I don't fucking do yard work. I fucking pay somebody to do it. I don't care about the outside of my house. I don't paint it, nothing. But that's my lawn. Don't fucking walk my lawn.
I felt
walk around, bitch.
I also, I went to vote on Tuesday, and like I went and researched everybody, like to make an
informed decision.
Yeah, and
That makes you feel old instead of responsible.
Yeah, it did, because I was like, man, I give a fuck now, like about like my kids and who's like in the educational system and like I give a fuck. Interesting enough, I voted for. I just want to say this. It just made me happy that I'm still somewhat balanced. Like that I have some liberal views and I have some conservative views, but I voted for 6 Democrats and 10 Republicans. And the governor, I voted for West or whatever, due to some things that he has about state retirement stuff.
I don't even know anyone of these motherfuckers' name except for David Trone, because he keeps popping up on my fucking YouTube ads.
And that guy fucking Cox is the fucking well, he's a like, I don't want to get into like a political discussion necessarily on here. I don't give a fuck about people's there's plenty of conservative politics that I completely respect and think make sense right down the line, and there's plenty of liberal politics that are the exact same and then the exact opposite for both. I hate a fucking dick rider. And when he had a fucking like a whole commercial saying like one time Trump shook his hand, I was like, man, I got to get you the fuck out of here.
Oh, yes. I love that.
But anyway,
Trump shook my hand, so vote for me.
And I think Trump is funny. Like, I'm not like this guy like this, like thinks he's like the Antichrist or Hitler. He cracked me up a bunch of times. Like, I'm kind of in it generally for the circus on a federal level. On the state level, I'm a little bit more cautious about
local things matters locally.
Like the fucking I just saw this thing with Biden recently, like one of these things. Like,
I was going to foot him.
But he said it like some like car company, I forget what it was, but he's like, Chevrolet says they're going to go all electric by 2035. And I'm hoping he means 2035. Otherwise, why the fuck are we talking about?
Like 1,000 years from now.
But he's just like, aloof.
But I mean, he can't be wrong, right?
You're right. You know what?
Both statements are right, I guess. Even if he does it by 2035, it's still done by 3035. But yeah, that made me feel old. Like, just that, like, I was investing in the political atmosphere of like where my kids go to school. But anyway, sorry, Donnie, I cut you off.
No, Tuesday night, like the election night, I turned on Hulu and it had at the top, election coverage. And I was like, oh, you know what? Why not? Hours just sitting there watching. I felt like I'm watching the count, like, oh shit.
Is that watching sports?
Oh, yeah. So, I turned it on again yesterday. I go to Hulu again yesterday, and shit was still, they were still doing the count. And I was like, yo, this is like political sports nerds, yo. These motherfuckers are in, because I got friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about.
I have like hot button things, right? So like when I was looking through it, and like I'm looking through like some like conservative candidate, and it's like, was on the cusp of QAnon. I'm like, okay, you're out. and then like, and then like I'm looking on like the liberal candidate, and it's like 9/11 truther. I'm like, you're out. Like it's like shit like that. Like if you're like a complete psychopath.
Yeah. When we're gonna have like a fantasy fucking election team,
I'll do it.
Just pick your team up to see how many people win.
Sign me up. I'm glad to throw away money.
So last question. Never mind. This isn't even a question. I thought it was, because it says, "Hey Bobby, what if you could like?" So I just like put it. It says, "What if you could meet and interact with your listeners? What if they could talk to you one on one?" I created Convo to make that possible. It's like some app you're trying to get. So we're done.
Oh, have you heard of what? I'm sure it's not new, but it's new to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place called Whatnot.
No.
So it was eBay and streaming at the same time.
Okay.
It's live auctions. It's a site you go to. People are streaming, and you go on them, and you can bid on things live to buy things.
Ooh,
it's
nice.
really interesting, and they have all kinds of stuff. I stumbled into this because like one of the Magic the Gathering people I watch was like sponsored by them, and he was going to sell some shit or whatever. But I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
like live internet auctions, and I guess anybody can do it for anything. You're like here's my dirty socks.
Yeah.
$1 dirty socks. You know what I mean? I'm sure
it's like you said, like a proper auction. It's
and it's live streaming, which is like, I don't know who came up with this, but it's kind of a creative idea that just seems to make sense. It's like, well, why haven't this happened?
Imagine if your Wi-Fi is trash, though.
Or like low quality camera.
I'm like, oh man, look how many droids are in this bitch.
One thing that
looking all fuzzy.
I forgot to mention earlier, one last thing for my nerd week. I don't know, some Instagram shit. I put up in my story some questions about, because I'm trying to get some questions answered about an episode I'm going to do about blue belts in jiu-jitsu and why they quit. Why do you think they quit? Mm-hmm. Hardly anyone is many people that views those fucking stories and follows. Nobody answers. But the second I put anything up in my regular feed that I don't need your fucking opinion on, I'm just sharing the thing.
Right.
Everybody's got something to fucking say, or they're making demands for you to take it down because they don't like it. Yeah. So if any of you are those people, fuck you.
I'm not used to interacting with reels and stuff. I know that you can now, but like I'm used to being a watcher of clips and not a fucking commenter on.
I watch people's stories, and if I see something, I give it the little heart.
I just recently started doing that because I'm like, that's kind of weird. It's not a real post, but okay, I like it.
So I know what you're thinking, listeners. What if I want to send a question in?
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
And with that being said, I want to thank both of you gentlemen for coming out, and especially under such short notice. I'm glad that it all worked out.
Make it, yeah.
I'm gonna for the listeners, stay tuned. We're gonna have a first reactions to Wakanda Forever right after this. Shout out to the rest of the Cool Table. If you listen to this podcast, as far as I'm concerned, you're part of the Cool Table as well. And shout out to the rest of the Nerve Rage team. We have Dante here. We have Evan here. We have Joe here. But of course, there's Chris, who is sick, and we all make sure that he feels better.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, likes and shares.
On his page.
And then we also have, of course, Phil on our notes, and on Twitter, we have Raul on Instagram, and everybody else that works behind the scenes. And I think that's it, right? Is that everybody? Sure. Yeah. And with that,
flappy labias.
Cultural coochie.
Wax butthole.
Tight dick play. All right, so we just got finished watching Wakanda Forever. Phil is here with me.
What's up?
What do you give it out of 10?
For me, it's an 8 or 8.5.
Mine's an 8.5. Mm-hmm. So let's do. This is just going to be spoilers because it's just like.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going to put this. Release wise,
it's just going to be at the end of next week's Nerve Rage.
Okay, so it'll be after for a little while.
Yeah. So let's do good, bad, and ugly. So good.
I like the story.
I do too.
Overall. This might be a hot take, but I like this as a film better than the first one.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Definitely. The first one is average to me. It's an average Marvel movie. It kind of does all the things in Marvel movie. This was something new and different and breath of fresh air.
Now, this couldn't obviously happen without Boseman's death, the way they played this out.
Right.
But that gave it a lot of punch in between.
It's a tragedy.
For the whole culture and all how it unravels here. Yeah. The culture of Wakanda, and then you see the culture of Talokan, which is what they're calling Atlantis, and for Namor is both Letitia Wright's Shuri and Tenoch's Namor are both like have a huge amount of tragedy in their backstory.
Yeah, and then
it was nice to see the parallel go back and forth.
There's no real happy ending in this for anyone.
There's no real like obvious villain.
Yeah, you kind of understand everybody's intention.
Which is that's the way Namor has always been. He initially popped up in the 1930s in Timely Comics as a villain, but then he immediately became anti-hero heroic by the time World War II came on, and he's been going on both. He's played both sides of the fence so many times. It's kind of a gray area.
I thought like another thing that was good is like everybody acts like the acting was extremely well done, like pretty much across the board. If I had to say there was a weak link, it would be Shuri.
Yeah,
but it's still good.
Yeah, she still pulls it off. Yeah, I think Letitia Wright is a little bit weaker than some of the other characters, but not by a whole lot. So.
The Queen, I forget her name. I'm not good with names.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
I love her. She's amazing.
Dude, she is awesome.
She's amazing in that fucking movie. When she loses her shit.
Yeah, and when Okoye, she dresses down Okoye and
the general who like says I've given. She basically demotes her and says I've given everything, and then she checks that with like look at what I've given. Like I've given my son. I'm now giving my daughter.
Yeah, because she has no idea what has to happen to Shuri at that point.
It's like that was powerful shit.
That might be my favorite scene in there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I really liked the siege of Wakanda, like the attack on Wakanda.
Yeah, and especially it's driven home by the fact when he looks at Shuri after the mom's drowning, and he's like, I'll give you 1 week.
Yeah.
And this is just a taste of what we've got.
Yeah.
So you're done.
Mourn your losses.
Yeah, it's a mourn your losses. I'll give you that.
Bury your dead.
Yeah, it was a very, between that and the battle at sea, it felt like a very like old style like battle, almost like a traditional siege from like the Dark Ages or something, between how the fighting styles for how they were approached.
Yeah, I agree. I like that an awful lot. I also like the interconnectivity of it all. Like, it's isolated right to Wakanda, but like it still ties back to the States.
They still have the Martin Freeman character from S.H.I.E.L.D. They still have it definitely name Dreyfus as
who is she?
So her character in the books is a former girlfriend and spy of Nick Fury in the books, and she's wavered between being a good guy and bad guy for so long. I don't know how they're going to play her in this. Like, Dreyfus really hasn't shown her hand. She's shown hints that she's going to build the Thunderbolts because we know the movie's coming,
right? And
she hasn't said whether she's really a good guy or a bad guy. And now they've named her as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this,
right? So
we don't know. Like, she's been a spy with Fury back in like the days in the 60s when he first was an agent before he became the head. She became his love interest at one point. She's also been Madam Hydra at one point. So she's gone back and forth. Like Namor, she's gone back and forth, played both sides.
I like.
So I don't know how they're gonna do it.
The story, it's just a story that makes sense.
Yeah,
like this girl creates a thing that can detect vibranium. They put the thing in the water. The Atlanteans, or whatever you want to call them, become aware of it. They need to find out who this person is, so they basically get the Wakandans to find out.
Yeah, because they know that's the other side of. There's the only other side of vibranium.
Get the girl, then they say we want the girl, and it's just that simple. It's not like a lot of these where like it gets so convoluted with like some sort of like global disaster or something. Like, the threat is there for burning the world and all that kind of shit, but like it's really a pretty intimate, even though it's two nations fighting, it's pretty intimate in its approach.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
the core
this
cast of
broad
characters.
Cast of or scope of things. I like that a lot. I welcome that. Like, I feel like that's something I needed.
Despite the fact that it's pretty much a war on the verge of happening, it's still about the core characters and it's still their character development.
Yeah. I think that like Shuri, she has an interesting arc. I think that
definitely.
I think that most characters in this, like where they start and where they finish, is like it's fucking interesting. Like, and it's not like I didn't necessarily see all of it. And
I didn't think they would kill. I didn't think they would kill the Queen.
Yeah,
that was a good twist. I was like, oh shit! And the fact that to work around Boseman's death, when Shuri takes her synthesized herb to become the Panther, she sees Killmonger instead, because that was a good writing twist to have him come in and say, you're more like me than you think.
Yeah.
And you have the chance to do what I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that as well. And it kind of continues to kind of tie that story up.
Yeah, it was good. Like, even with the final fight, I was like, how is she going to do what Killmonger was going to do? Or is she gonna?
And we got to see it, and he did say Imperius Rex.
Yeah, so I was waiting for that like the whole movie. I was like, finally, all right, cool.
Yeah, it was cool that they did, and it works. I don't know why.
Works. Like he was beaten and he refused to back down, which is Namor to the core. Like, he'll never back down.
Right.
Like, he's taken on like the Hulk and stuff. He can stand up to, but can't really defeat.
Yeah,
and he won't ever back down.
He also calls himself a mutant.
Yeah, so it's
a play on words. He doesn't mean it like capital M.
No, but this is the first time that term's been used on screen, right?
On big screen.
On big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the shows and stuff, they were calling.
Yeah, they call it something. They call something along the lines of Miss Marvel. They say that she's a mutant.
Okay. Yeah, I still haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I watched that scene. But yeah, it's the first time it's been used. When they pulled the feather off of his, I don't know why I thought that was funny, but
off the foot.
Yeah, but I wonder how that will affect him in the future.
So, well, as long as he goes back to water, he has a good healing and durability. Well, you notice he should have had major scars on his face,
right,
from the slash, and in his back, and he was healed in the last scene.
Yeah, that's true.
So I assume that his wings would heal too if they're part of him.
That's interesting. Like a regeneration is different than a heal, but I get it. Yeah. Huh. Okay.
I was kind of saddened by the look of Riri's outfit, the iron suit, because I saw the Marvel Legend like everybody did in stores, and I was like, that's a cool design, I like it. And in the movie, the CG for that in particular did not look finished. It looked like it could have used a little extra TLC to be finished. And I don't know, it could have been a million reasons why that is, but that's like the only thing that was a glaring, like, ooh, that looks like it doesn't quite belong. Until they shot the underwater part where she goes underwater and then it kind of fit in. But out in the air, it's like, that looks like it's not quite up to the snuff of the rest of the film.
I do think there's a couple moments in that movie that move a little too slow.
Okay.
I think one in particular is when Shuri is kidnapped or whatever under the water and has to go through the whole thing, like the whole process of her waking up in the cave to getting freed. I feel like they could have moved that along a little bit. Like, there were a couple times where I was like, man, like, how fucking long is this shit? Like, this shit just keeps going on and on. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but when it becomes noticeable, then I know, to me, it's a pacing issue. Let's see what else there's another, because I have more.
Okay. I figured you would have.
Here's my biggest issue with it. The final battle doesn't feel big enough to me.
Oh, on the ship. Yeah. And
like,
in the water.
Yeah, like to go from the city fight to that, I was kind of like,
that's
man,
true.
This is it.
I didn't think about that, but now that you bring it up, it doesn't feel as big as the city fight.
Reversed. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like, man, like I was expecting, like, you know, like almost like Lord of the Rings style, like army versus army.
But they don't see. I think they probably pulled the reins on that because they don't want to duplicate what they did in Infinity War, because that's supposed to be bigger than this. But the Wakanda battle in there.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to make it that big, but I think that like having like all of those fucking Atlanteans, like just seeing like just how many there are.
I did like how even after they take Namor, they show, the Atlanteans are not done. They bring the whales up, and Namora puts the bomb in the ship. Is like, no, we're like still coming. You're not stopping us. And they basically corner the last few Wakandans on the ship as they're about to be done.
That fight felt very claustrophobic to me. Like I wanted more space than just this flat bridge on a.
So what I think they probably could have done is they probably could have done more than one ship. And have it jump between ships.
Yeah.
I don't. That's the only thing that they could have made it bigger scale.
It just felt a little anticlimactic for me for where the film was kind of heading. It was like, okay, it's just gonna be here, is it? Okay, which is fine. But like, I think had that battle been perfect, I probably would have given it a 9.5.
Yeah,
it'd have been a more grand battle.
That's true.
And that's all I got for bad.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you have any ugly?
I have one ugly.
Okay, I don't really, but
and it's a Weta thing. Like,
okay.
So there's a scene where M'Baku is standing with a few of his guys on a bridge and the Wakanda background, and it really looks like a green screen. Like, it really looks like...
All right.
It's before he jumps off of there, like, into the water.
To go save the guys in the boat?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks very green screen to me. Like, it looks like he's on a Zoom call.
I didn't catch that. That's a good catch.
Yeah, that was it. That was all I had. Like, but I think Weta does super strong work, especially with like armies and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lord of the Rings is what they cut their and
exactly.
Kong is what they cut their teeth on.
Exactly.
So.
But I don't think that anything from Weta looks as perfect across the board as ILM.
Okay.
Like, and I don't know why Marvel has moved from ILM to Weta.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's a bigger overarching story to that.
I'm guessing it's just budget. I'm guessing it's just money, but it's just weird because it's in house. You know what I mean? Like it's all under the bloody House of Mouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because ILM's owned by Disney, right?
Yeah, it's a Lucasfilm thing. Yeah.
Does Disney own Weta? No, because that's still
it's an Australian company.
Yeah, is that owned by
New Zealand company?
Is that owned by Jackson? Or is that
that I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know. It may be, but I don't know. And they make like props and shit like for.
Oh yeah. Weta's had his fingers everywhere in the industry by now.
They're very good at what they do, but like I just don't think they're as good as ILM.
ILM's been doing it a lot longer.
Yeah. And that's really all I got.
Yeah, I like, despite the fact that they had to change Namor because of
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. So I wasn't sure what they were going to do because obviously Aquaman's already a big motion picture that a lot of people have seen. Marvel doesn't want the brand confusion, so they changed his origin. And I mean, I thought it was cool because they brought in the Yucatan is where his family's from. That's where the asteroid hit when they took out the dinosaurs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's the Yucatan's most famous for that.
Huh.
But
I'm not sure if I knew that. I also there's like a little small thing, right, where it's like, they talk about like, the conquistadors in Mexico and like the kind of ramifications of that. And then obviously, in the first Black Panther, there's a lot of talk about colonizing and all that. But then it's the same thing I felt about Black Panther is there's not like a moral high ground to it because they both kind of end up contemplating becoming the same fucking thing, So it's almost like this is a human nature problem of just fucking power and fucking violence,
I do also really like how powerful they showed Namor is. Since he's like one of the more powerful characters Marvel has.
And he was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like his movements and stuff. And
they didn't make him fly around necessarily like Superman because they did employ the wings, which I didn't know if I was going to like, and I heard people clown on from the trailer. I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, but I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it
like
either.
it makes sense for the way they showed him flying digitally. Yeah. It's like, okay, he would pivot in a certain way because of the wings.
This is the best Marvel movie that I have seen since Infinity War.
Okay.
That's all I can say about it. It's a strong recommend from me.
Yeah, same here. If you get a chance to see it in theater, definitely.
All right. Anything else, Phil?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Wrap it up.